Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. My name is Ariel Helwani. I'm here in our New York City studio. It is so great to be here with all of you. We've already had a very busy day at Uncrowned HQ. Sometimes my chair gets stuck. Ugh. I've had a lovely weekend, my friends. I've had a lovely weekend. I hope you did as well. I was with my kids twice at Madison Square Garden this past weekend. On Friday, we went to see the Portland Trail Blazers get their ass handed to them by the New York Knicks. And then on Sunday night, last night, we were at MSG to witness the Knicks against the Lakers' first NBC Sunday night basketball game, first NBC game at Madison Square Garden since 2002. There was a vibe in that arena. There was an energy in that arena. It was so great. I had such a great time. Got to go early with my kids. Shout out to my guy, Randy Cruz, for hooking us up with that. Appreciate him very, very much. He is the man. Has a great wrestling podcast as well. Go check it out. He's great on Twitter, too. I think his name is Randy J. Cruz. In any event, we got to meet Jalen Brunson. My son got to meet Landry Shamet, his favorite player. And I did all of this because I felt so guilty that I'll be missing my son's birthday on February 16th because I'm going to Italy tomorrow to cover the Olympic Games for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, the CBC. I'll be stationed in Livigno for the vast majority of my time, and this will mark the first time as a father that I'll be missing one of my kids' birthdays. I made a vow to myself, for whatever reason, when I became a dad for the first time, that I would never miss a birthday, and I have done my part up until now. I've turned down some big opportunities. I remember when Francis fought Tyson Fury. It was on my daughter's birthday. I had to say no. And there were some other reasons as well. But I remember when the Bills asked me to announce their draft pick on my son's 10th birthday. I had to say no. That ended up being James Cook. On and on it goes. I made a lot of tough choices, but this one I couldn't quite figure out and I couldn't quite miss. And so because I was missing his birthday, I really wanted to stack the deck beforehand, make it very special. He did say to me last night, I hope you miss my birthday more often because this has been an incredible weekend. So that made me feel good. And I hope he doesn't mean that. So all to say, it was a great weekend. Friday and Sunday at MSG, the world's most famous arena. Saturday at MSG, you'll know that they had the Ring 6 card, which featured an unbelievable performance by the one and only Shakur Stevenson, who you know we enjoy very much. We enjoy talking to him, and it's been great to see the love and respect that he has received since essentially skunking Teofimo Lopez. We're going to talk about that fight and more throughout the show. And today's program will have a lot of MMA, and a lot of UFC, and a lot of boxing as well. So this is what we do over at Uncrowned. As you know, Uncrowned Saturday has come and gone. I've just gotten some facts and figures from our fearless leader, Shaheen Al-Shadi, and it was a smashing success, like triple the success that the first Uncrowned Saturday was about a year ago. So very, very proud of the efforts, very proud of the coverage on Saturday. The day started over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for the 2026 Royal Rumble, which, as you know by now, on the women's side was won by Liv Morgan. On the men's side was won by Roman Reigns. Pretty entertaining stuff. We'll have some thoughts on that. It then went over to Newcastle. Josh Kelly won the IBF title over there. It was a great showing out of him on DAZN. Over in London, there was a boxer card on BBC Two, which is headlined by Francesca Hennessy, an up-and-comer on the women's side of things. And it was controversial, but she got the nod. Then we went over to the UFC in Sydney, around 5 o'clock, road to UFC. And then it turned into UFC 325 on Paramount+. Some thoughts on their second offering since the deal kicked in last week, 2 weekends ago now. And then it went over to New York City for the Madison Square Garden Ring 6 card, headlined by, of course, Shakur Stevenson beating Teofimo Lopez. Also on that card, the return of Keyshawn Davis. Shu Shu Carrington picking up the WBC featherweight title. So all in all, a tremendous Saturday of combat. And in case you wanted more, you had the second Zuffa boxing card last night on Paramount+. Who's luckier than us? And in case you're wondering, you're not going to miss anything over the next 3 weeks. I will be leaving tomorrow, but we're going to have something for you every single day. There's not going to be a single day during the week in which we are dark. Boys in the back are going to be picking up a lot of slack, but I'm going to be weighing in, chiming in, joining either live or via video submission on breaking news. And we've had some this morning. Great that we can react to it. We'll do that as well. They'll be doing shows Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. We'll have some uncrowned films for you as well. The crack, obviously, on Friday. Tomorrow, a brand new episode of the MMA Beat. Wednesday, we've got a fun special edition of the show planned for all of you. Very proud of how we have come together to give you guys as much as possible while I'll be away. But the show goes on. The train rolls on. You'll still see a ton from me. It'll just be a little bit different for the next 3 or so weeks. A great opportunity for me, obviously a very special opportunity, one that I'm excited about, but I'm even more excited about the fact that we've been talking about this for about 3 or so months. We have come together. We're in a great place, and we won't leave you hanging, and we won't miss a beat. So for now, let's get into the show. It is the 2nd of February, shortest month of the year, and there's a hell of a lot to talk about with a hell of a lot of people. Back into the program, Robert Whittaker is going to join us. Obviously, the pride of Sydney. Get his thoughts on Saturday. Get his thoughts on working in Las Vegas as an analyst for this card. And get his thoughts on the state of his career. Prior to that, Quillan Salkilld, who has turned into one of the great young prospects in the sport. Another great win for him. This time against Jamie Malarkey on Saturday. Great submission win for him. He's going to join us. Love everything about this kid. The look, the hair, the stash, the fighting ability, the finishing rate. He's just a lot of fun. And so he'll join us at about 4 o'clock. The president of the World Boxing Council, Mauricio Sulaiman, who I've never spoken to before, is going to join us in studio at about 3:05 to talk about everything going on in that world and what a fascinating time it is for him and the WBC, but also all sanctioning bodies in boxing, WBO, IBF, WBA. It's a fascinating time because you've got Zuffa coming in and saying, we're not playing ball with any of you. And they're the big dog. WBC is the most prestigious one. There's no doubt about that. They are the big dog. And he's not laying down. He's pushing back. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that chat. Prior to that, the brand new WBC featherweight champion, Bruce Carrington, Shu Shu Carrington of Brownsville, Brooklyn, who won that belt on Saturday and is considered one of the bright young stars in boxing as well. He's going to join us in studio to talk about that. And just finalized at about 2:05, we're going to be joined by Lerone Murphy, who probably should have fought for the belt on Saturday, did not, but it was announced this morning will headline the UFC's return to London on March 21st against Movsar Evloev in what is the easiest number one contender fight to announce for the UFC. I wonder if they will. They tend to not do this because they don't want to back themselves into a corner. And when they do announce a number one contender fight, they don't adhere to it. They don't respect it. But, I mean, who on this planet thinks it shouldn't be either Lerone or Movsar, the winner of that fight, fighting Alex Volkanovski next? And so, yes, this fight was just announced along with some other fights as well. And we'll get into all of that and more right here on today's program. But I did want to start with the reigning, defending UFC men's featherweight champion, the one and only Alex the Great Volkanovski. And I have to say, seeing him get that, look, we didn't care for the fight. We didn't care for the immediate rematch. We didn't care for the fact that Diego was, leapfrogging Movsar and Lerone, all that stuff. But it didn't really matter because seeing Alex Volkanovski get that type of reception on Saturday in Sydney, seeing the crowd sing Down Under together in unison as he walked out, seeing him get that love, seeing him get that respect. I've talked about this, I kind of joke about us being the last of a dying breed, but I feel like he is truly that as far as UFC champions are concerned. This guy is just everything that you want in a champion. He never complains. He never criticizes. He says his piece, he says his part, advocates for other fighters in the division who are getting looked past, because he was once one of those guys. He was once one of those guys who had to fly from New Zealand to Edmonton in order to just be the backup fighter, just to put himself in a position to get a title shot because he wasn't getting those opportunities. And to see the cult-like favorite that he has become, not only in Australia, but in the sport of MMA, and now becoming this sort of social media sensation with his cooking stuff. I saw a bunch of people joking like, oh, this guy that I watch on YouTube that likes to cook is also a UFC champion and he's fighting tonight. I don't know if those people are being honest or not, or just kind of, being jokesters online. But I would imagine there are some people who just like Alex Volkanovski because he makes fun cooking videos. To see him turn into this and pitch another shutout. It was 50-45 at worst, 49-46. And there wasn't much for Diego to bring to the table. And honestly, I kind of feel bad because Diego has kind of become the butt of the joke in the aftermath of this fight. He doesn't deserve that. He's an incredible fighter. The problem is Alex Volkanovski is, in many people's eyes now, and mine, the greatest featherweight champion of all time. And as a result, the greatest featherweight fighter of all time. For the longest time, it was Jose Aldo. And then Max Holloway had a say. And then came along a guy named Alex Volkanovski, who I remember at a time, and there may be revisionist history, like Max did not rate very high. I remember I used to listen to all the interviews. He wouldn't even say his name. There wasn't a ton of respect put on his name. And he went out there and beat him 3 times. And after the second time, a lot of people thought Max won that fight. And Volk was hated because they felt like he had taken something from their beloved Max Holloway. Those days are no more. And so to see this guy at 37 do this against anyone coming his way, to see him rebound from the Islam Makhachev knockout loss, the mistake of taking that fight on short notice, and then the revelation afterwards that he was doing his head in, as he said, because he was out of action for 3 months. He takes this fight on short notice, gets knocked out for the first time in his career, and you think, wow, there's going to come a time where this man will regret taking this fight because it changed everything. It changed the trajectory of his career. He will not be the legend that he was supposed to be. And he doesn't even take that much time in between that fight and the next one. It was just 4 months in between that fight and the Ilia Topuria fight. And what happens there? He runs into the buzzsaw that is Ilia Topuria and he gets knocked out. And then you think, wow, he's really going to regret that. He will never live this down. He will never get over this. Oh my God, he's too old. He can't take a punch. The chin is gone. Takes 14 months off, a little less. Comes back against Diego in the vacant title fight. Incredible performance. Everyone says, oh, Diego's going to cut him off. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He switches stances. What does Volk do? He figures them out. He switches stances when Diego switches stances. He figured out everything. He jumps the ghillie. He's doing that reverse sit-down thing, whatever that was at the end of the 5th round. Got tagged once or twice, but in reality, he was never in trouble. Didn't get beat up. Got a little beat up the first time they fought. And then shows up to the post-fight press conference when you have guys like Arman, when you have opportunities to kind of say like, all right, now I'm going to get paid. Now I'm the man. What does this guy do at the post-fight press conference? He's like, look, I need to be the champion that fights the most deserving guys. I need to be the champion that does what's right. I need to set the tone and standard for this weight class. Who else? Name me one that is doing that in any division. Name me one. And I love a lot of them. Name me one that says the things that Alex Volkanovski is saying right here in this clip.
It does look like maybe it's going to be Movsar fighting, Murphy. But you like to stay active. There's, Jean Silva out there. I know Arman Tsarukyan wants a crack at it as well. If those guys are, maybe healing up because they still have to have this fight, would you be open to potentially fighting sooner against like a Jean Silva or a Arman Tsarukyan to stay active and keep the momentum going?
I mean, as I said, I'm an easy champ to understand. I'll talk to the UFC if that's what they want. As long as, look, I feel bad enough, I feel bad enough that like there's guys that probably deserved it and that to wait, even though they're going to eventually get it. Do I keep want to make them late and just, again, so I've got a responsibility. I talk about having a responsibility as a champion. I don't think enough champions look at it that way. For me, I look at it as a responsibility. There's rankings for a reason, there's people that deserve it. If someone does get in, I'll be active enough to still give the people that deserve it a chance anyway, so I don't have to wait too long. But I mean, if I'm just going to keep letting other people just cut the line, I'm not really doing my part either. So I'll talk to UFC, see what they say. But for me, again, I'm an easy champ. I understand at the end, Dave, the UFC just push it or whatever, all right. But we'll see what happens.
I feel bad, he says. I'm not doing my part if I let people cut the line. And I understand, by the way, the UFC is taking care of Alex Volkanovski. He's gotten a new deal. Remember, I asked him a couple of weeks ago about pay-per-view points and all that stuff. He's happy. He's content. And they should be taking care of him because this is the type of guy that you want to do business with. Talk about it all the time. Chael loves to say the guys who turn the gun on the UFC. He ain't that guy. He ain't that guy. He'll never be that guy. And so it's amazing to see him get this because you know that these moments, they're not going to last forever for him. They're few and far between now. I'm not saying he's going anywhere or showing any signs of slowing down, but to do this against a guy like Diego who, you know, it was up to Diego to be like, all right, I did this wrong, that wrong, and I'm going to now do this right, and that right because I saw his best, and Volk figured it all out. And it was never close. It was beautiful to watch. It was great. What a scene. I love when the UFC brings a champion back home. It feels special. It feels unique. And I love that he got that moment. I want to bring in Rick and GC and ask them as they were doing the watch party, at any point, guys, and I'll start with you, GC, at any point were you watching that and being like, because this was a fair sentiment, and I honestly thought it as well. I felt it beforehand, and I thought it during the fight, like, this was kind of a waste, right? Like, what was the point of all of this? Why did we need to do this? This, like, was one of the more... The UFC makes puzzling decisions, but this was a puzzling one, right? Because no one was calling for it after the Diego Lopez, John Silva fight. No one was saying, oh, that was so good that we need to see this title fight again. No one was calling for it, and you had two really good guys waiting, including one who was coming off what I and many of us at Uncrowned thought was the knockout of the year. Did you think that as well, or by the time the fight was happening and playing out, were you just so immersed in the Volk moment, so to speak, that was, you know, in the rearview mirror?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's sort of like when it got announced, I was perplexed. It was completely unnecessary. You have two rightful contenders in Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev that you could have given the title shot to instead. But by the time the fight rolls around and you do all the previews and everything and you build up the hype to it, you sort of forget about the fight being made and you're just enjoying the fight itself. Though me and Rick were sitting there maybe 2 or 3 minutes after the fight ended and we both looked at each other and was like, you know, was kind of pointless doing this. Like, this was completely unnecessary. It was essentially the exact same result. You know, like, Volk got dropped at one point, just like he did in the first one. I would actually argue Diego Lopez may have had more success in the first fight than he did in this one. It felt like we didn't need to see it. Now we get the rightful number one contender fight with Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evloev in London. And then you have to assume Volk's going to fight the winner of that, and it just feels like it's long overdue at that point.
What do you think, Rick?
I had the same feeling. As GC said, we literally on the watch party looked at each other and were like, guess you didn't have to. But I actually blame Diego Lopez more than I do the UFC. I think the UFC's intentions were pure. They were noble in the sense that I know people say that Movsar and Lerone deserved it, and I'm one of those people, and I stand in that camp. They definitely deserved it, if deserved has any meaning in the modern MMA space.
It doesn't.
But the more exciting fighter of that group is Diego Lopez. And I think they are clearly broadcasting with what they put in the main event of this card and what they put in the main event of the last card, the debut on Paramount, that excitement is key. Excitement is their optimal outcome for a fight. And so you have to think that they had the intentions of mind of putting Diego in there and thinking that it was going to be as exciting a fight as the first one, which was very exciting. I thought that was a fantastic fight and a great performance by both. I think Diego just didn't have the right game plan. Diego didn't come in with the game plan that was going to make this fight any different, and that was ultimately where they went wrong. But I think that's more on Diego than it is the UFC in particular. But if the question is, point blank, did we need this fight? The answer is absolutely not.
You know, you can give Alex a lot of credit for this as well. Like, just, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who needs to be motivated, but there is probably a part of him that was like, man, I just figured out this puzzle and I have to do it again. Remember, Diego had a fight in between, so he kind of got something out of his system. For Volk, this was truly back-to-back, and he showed no signs of lacking motivation or anything like that, or just sort of being apathetic towards it all. I think he understands where he's at. I think he's appreciative. I think he's grateful.
Well, don't forget.
And it was all taken away from him, and now he gets to do it again.
This is the guy who, after beating Max Holloway twice, was like, yeah, I'll give him a third crack. Like, he's just that guy.
Yeah.
Everything you've said about him, I couldn't agree with more. He's a champion's champion. He's the consummate company man. Now, granted, there's ways that will harm him, right, in terms of financial viability and his ability. But he will never say no. He's always up for a fight, and you can rely on him. He's one of your most reliable commodities, and he's a gangster.
And so we are getting Movsar versus Lerone. Who are we favoring here, GC? What do we think?
That's actually a great question. Let's see if any odds have come out. But
who are you favoring?
In my opinion, with the success that Movsar's had, however you feel about his style, it feels like he'll be the favorite in this matchup. I know Lerone is on a similar streak, but Movsar has beaten some of these top guys in the division.
This has to be the number one contender fight, right?
Whoever wins this has to get the next title shot.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Yeah.
What's up, guys? John Silva.
Oh my God.
Alexander Volkanovski.
By the way, you joke, but I could totally see it.
1,000%.
Absolutely. I could 100% see it. All right, here we go. Odds. We don't have any, but we do have odds for
John Silva?
next opponent.
Movsar
plus 100. John Silva plus 175, Lerone Murphy plus 300. So you have to imagine Movsar is going to be a decent size favorite.
This was who they thought would be his next opponent?
Yeah, this is live right now that you can place a wager.
Maybe it was before they announced this, which was just a couple hours ago. But
maybe so.
Man, look, it's all going to work out for the UFC as it usually does, because if you look at this card that they just announced for London, MVP is on there, and in my opinion, he's a headliner, but this is the perfect headliner for a card in London. Obviously, Lerone gets that moment, which he's been lacking. And so there you go. That's a number one contender fight, 1 versus 4. The other fights that have been announced, Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell, which is a solid fight. Michael Venom Page versus Sam Patterson. What do we think of this, by the way? Is this a bit of a weird one?
Yes.
I was shocked when I saw this.
Back
especially
at
not in the
welterweight,
co-main.
right? Yeah.
Back at welterweight against a guy in Sam Patterson who is on a 4-fight winning streak, but not of the caliber of Michael Venom Page. I think his last one was Trey Waters.
Maybe of the caliber, and that will, be proven in the fight. TBD. But not of the status of MVP.
No.
This is not a fight commensurate with where I thought MVP's kind of standing was. See, I don't know. Did he do something to the company?
No,
it just seems like he can't get a break here. We've had him on the
Brit
show
versus Brit.
Well, we had him on the show, and he was talking about he wanted to be at welterweight. They offered him no fight, so he took the middleweight fight. Then he was hoping to maybe make a splash at middleweight. He just can't seem to get anybody to fight him. And I don't know if this is because they won't sign on the dotted line or the UFC is just not offering it, but this was a little bit bizarre for me.
The Luke Riley one to me seems like a clear indicator that they are trying to push him to be
high on him,
a star for this company. Coming out of the same gym as Patty, it feels like they feel very confident that he can be a star for them.
Who else? Let me run through the rest of this card real quick. So we've got
that Iwo Barnowski Austin Lane is a guaranteed scrap.
Roman Dolidze against Christian Leroy Duncan.
I like that. Pushing Leroy Duncan up into the ring.
Yep. Curtis Campbell, Danny Silva, Mason Jones, Axel Sola, Nathaniel Wood versus Losine Keita.
That is a scrap.
Yeah. Wood has always been great, especially in London. Louis Sutherland against Brando Pericic. Mantas. Help me out here.
Kondratavicius.
Yes.
Didn't he win our Jasmine Jasdavicius award?
He did.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mick Parkin is back. That's fun against Mario Pinto. All right.
Another Brit, right?
Shamrock getting another opportunity. So there you have it. Very fun against Abdul Karim El Wasadi. Al-Salwadi, excuse me, I screwed that up, and Chanel Dyer against Ravina Oliveira. Not the worst, not the best.
It feels like
a very solid one.
It feels like the main event should be a massive selling point. You have two undefeated fighters in a number one contender fight, and one of them is representing England. It feels like it should be a no-brainer.
PT's going to join us in a bit. We'll get his thoughts on this card. He knows a lot of these guys very well. Do want to wish the best to Diego Lopez. He revealed afterwards that he broke both feet, or at least fractured both feet. Some nights, oh gosh, someone read this for me. It's too small though.
Some nights you're at the after party, some nights you're at the ER. But every morning I give thanks for the opportunity to live this life with my best friends. And then he says, looks like we broke both feet.
Golly.
And then he says in this one in English, everything is fine. The initial diagnosis at the arena was that I might have broken both feet. We went to the hospital. They ran tests and everything was fine. Just some fractures in both feet, but surgery is not necessary. I'll be using boots and crutches for a few weeks.
Golly.
Just some fractures in both feet. No big deal.
Oh, how annoying.
I was just chopping at the legs so hard that I fractured both my feet.
Now, is there a difference truly between fracture and break?
Yeah, I mean, like when we're talking break, we're talking like a compound fracture where like something might break through the skin or it might not be usable. He has fractures on the bone, but the bone can still be in place and still heal as long as he keeps it stationary. That's why he needs that cast and the crutches. it's much better. He can avoid surgery and all the complications that come with that, but he still does need to recover. It's no joke, but it's not as serious as like a real strong break.
Class stuff from Diego afterwards, tweeting to Alex Volkanovski that he is the man. Essentially, here it is. No excuses. You're the great. Alex Volkanovski for a reason. Thanks for the fight. By the way, I retweeted this, and then Volkanovski replied to him via my retweet. So he was thanking. I thought he was thanking me at first.
No, he was.
I thought he was thanking me for like all the love, and I was like, oh, he's just replying.
No, I think he was saying, "Thank you for bringing this to my attention."
Yeah, I know.
Missed this
because I saw Volkanovski in the tweet replies. He doesn't tweet a lot. I'm like, oh, what is this? What did I say that he liked? Oh, actually, he's writing back to the guy that said something nice about him, which works as well. Islam Makhachev went on Instagram and said, "This man, Alex Volkanovski, who he did fight twice, is the greatest." You do wonder in an alternate universe, Volkanovski beats him that first time. You remember how close he was in that 5th round? What a great fight that is, man. I kind of want to watch it again because it was so much fun, especially that 5th and final round, and the crowd was insane in Perth. Do you think he's calling him the greatest of all time, period, or just the greatest featherweight champion of all time? Because his buddy is Khabib, obviously.
Yeah, I have a feeling just featherweight.
Greater, this is a fun one. Greater fighter, Volkanovski or Khabib?
Khabib.
Yeah, it feels like you got to go Habib.
4 title victories, 8 title victories.
I know, but no
0
losses and several knockout losses now.
Absolute domination every time he stepped in there.
Quality of opponent.
I mean,
That's
Volk's resume is getting insane.
The quality of opponent.
That's a conversation.
By the way, we tried to do the tit for tat on Saturday. It failed miserably. I don't know if you guys saw this. It didn't work as well, but I was trying to do the Aldo versus Volk thing.
See.
It didn't work. It didn't work as well.
Yeah, Aldo's
Should we fire it
beginning
up?
didn't match up. That's for
Wait. You want to do Volk versus Khabib?
Let's do
we're
it.
doing Volk versus Habib.
Yeah.
now.
Let's
Are we
do
starting UFC?
Well, what do you mean?
Like, where is the starting point?
Let's just do like last 10 fights.
We'll go in reverse.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Last 10 fights. Am I
do it
doing
quick.
both of these guys? And
Yeah.
I'm just going to call them out to you guys?
Okay, wait. You,
All right, so Ariel's actually weighing in this
you want me to
time?
do? Oh, no. You want me to do one?
I got one.
I'll do.
I got them both right here.
Okay, so I'll say Volk, you say Khabib, and then
And
you guys
I
weigh
pick?
in.
Okay,
Oh,
we're starting with their most recent fight?
yeah, backwards.
Okay.
Okay. So Diego Lopez.
Justin Gaethje.
That's Habib.
I'm going Habib.
Yep.
Okay, Frank, can you?
I'll write it.
Okay,
I got it.
Habib.
This tit for tat.
Little tit for tat. Little tit for tat.
Sponsored by
Tit for
Tic Tac.
You go tit, I'll go tat.
Okay.
Tick for tack.
See, you guys are more into it than PT and Chuck. They were like looking
Yeah,
at me like
no,
I had
I just don't
foreheads.
think they know the lore
They
of
don't know
tit
tit
for
for
tat.
tat.
don't
All
know,
right,
don't know.
Diego Lopez.
Versus Dustin Poirier.
Dustin Poirier. That's Habib.
Okay, 2-0.
Yep.
Ilya wait. Losses now. This is where it gets
Yeah.
interesting. So Ilya lost.
Yeah. Or
Conor McGregor win.
So
Habib.
Habib. All right. Islam loss.
Ally Quinta win. But that was the knockout loss.
Alexander Volkanovski on that one.
We're saying even
This is the knockout.
loss.
This is the knockout.
Still,
I'm going Habib.
Okay.
don't-
So you're saying 3-1 and you're saying 4-0.
it's a
right?
short notice.
Yeah, year win.
Versus Edson Barbosa. That's Volk.
Volk.
Yeah. Islam 5-round loss.
Michael Johnson. That's Volk.
Okay. So what are we at? What are we at?
Depending on who you're asking, it's,
You, Connor.
I'm 3-3.
And Rick is 4-2?
Yeah.
Okay. Max Holloway.
Daryl Horcher. That's Volk.
Volk.
Max Holloway.
RDA.
Volk.
Yeah,
Still.
it's Max Holloway, dude. It's Volk.
Oh, you know what? I skipped one. Sorry. I got
What?
excited.
Oh, God.
I got
damn it.
excited.
Which one did you
anymore.
say?
Second Max Holloway. Forget the second Max. He comes back. You said Daryl Horcher?
I said
No,
Daryl.
Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, right? Is the last one?
Michael Johnson was Max Holloway.
The most recent one is who?
Daryl Horcher. No, the most recent one I said was RDA.
Oh, RDA, sorry. RDA, Chan Sung Jung.
RDA.
Oh, RDA.
That's Habib.
So that goes back to Habib.
Okay, so what are we at?
Right now, I have it 4-4. Rick has it 5-3.
4?
Habib.
Okay. Brian Ortega.
No, didn't I have it for Volk? Because I gave him the Islam loss.
No, but you gave 3. Oh,
All right.
you gave him the Islam loss?
I was giving him
and I
credit
gave it
for
to
the
Habib?
Islam loss over
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Ally Quinta.
Flip it. I have it 5-3 Habib. He has it
4-4.
4-4 Volk. Pat Healy. That's Volk.
Whoa. Pat Healy versus Brian Ortega?
Oh, Volk.
That's your turning point as far as your fandom, right?
Probably,
UFC
yeah.
266. That video, I have to say,
Shout out.
I watch that video all the time of Izzy going like, "Come on, Volk, come on, Volk. Yeah!" You know when he
That's so
goes
good.
crazy, like you feel it in his freaking soul, like he's just.
I think everybody watching that
Yeah.
felt that exact, like you can identify with that feeling because we were all like, holy shit.
was
Like he
incredible.
couldn't
but
believe
that
it.
was his friend. Okay. Max Holloway 2.
Abel Trujillo.
Abel Trujillo. All right.
It's getting rough for Javier.
Okay.
That's Holloway.
getting rough.
I mean, that's Volk for me.
Max Holloway 1.
We're at 9 now. This is the 10th. Thiago Tavares.
Obviously, Volk.
So what
Yeah.
are we at?
So I had it 5-5. Rick had it 6-4. Volk.
Okay. Just for fun, 2 more. Jose Aldo,
Gleison Tebow.
Volk.
fight in which a lot of people thought he lost. Chad Mendes.
That was his debut, wasn't it?
Chad Mendes.
Nope. His debut was Kamal Shalor.
Oh, Shalarus. That's right.
Is that the next one?
Yep. And that's Habib's career.
Okay.
That's
And Chad Mendes.
It's Volk.
And in addition to that, there's a Darren Elkins, a Jeremy Kennedy, a Shane Young, a Mizuta Hirota, Yusuke Kasuya.
Yeah, this is why tit for tat doesn't work.
all right. So
The Volk win?
He definitely
Rick
won that.
Rick had it 8-5. Volk.
And you?
7-6.
7-6.
Volk.
So Volkanovski had a better career than Khabib so
No,
far if he
that's not how
retires
that
today? Wait, we just did all of that.
There's 2 losses in
Prove
there.
this. Yeah.
Habib
I know,
left
but
in his
we
prime.
compared
He's not the right guy to do it.
Yeah.
It will never work.
Well,
I know. I feel like we should have done Joseph.
No, the reason for this is the No Context Ariel account, which I have nothing to do with, loves to do this. And he did it yesterday, and then I looked and he had 26,000 likes on it.
Wait, what did he do?
Yes.
The tit for tat.
I love how you point out, like, I got nothing to do with
I really have nothing to do with it. I
yeah,
really.
I understand. It'd be a little bit weird if you did have something.
I mean, I feel like he did it yesterday and it had like 26,000 likes. I didn't dare look at the comments, but I was like, holy shit. I guess this is a hot topic.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, he actually did this. 21,000 likes. Can't even compare. 4 title fights, 12 title fights.
No, this is silliness.
All right.
Greatness isn't measured by the game of tit for tat.
Can I tell you what isn't silly? We have to give them their flowers. Shout out to the UFC and Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah.
They figured it out. It took them 1 week.
The Pip?
They didn't figure it out. Why do you have to ruin this moment? Here I am. Everyone's like, wow, so nice, Ariel, to give them compliments. It's so. Meanwhile, 98% of our content is talking about their product in a good way. Oh, this is coming up. Oh, Ariel. One clip where I say, almost tongue in cheek, to be honest, our good friends over at the UFC, they figured it out. But truly, they did figure it out. They figured it out. Last week, everyone's freaking out. No walkouts, no corner talk, all that stuff. Here's Zach Candido, the producer of these events for the UFC, for TKO, saying, you want walks, we'll give you walks, or at least we'll try. They figured it out. By the time the important fights start to happen, late prelims and main card, you got blue corner walk, red corner walk, red corner walks into the cage, 30-second spot, totally fine with that. In between rounds, L-bar, ad here, you hear everything, commercials in between fights. If that's what it is, perfect. You cannot say shit. You can't. I still see people complaining about the commercials. Who cares? Who cares? You're paying $8.99. They figured it out. I really didn't see any issues. It started a little bit slow. Oban Elliott fight lasted a round and a half, and then it took a while to get to the next one, but they made up for it. And truthfully, like even if it bleeds into 9 o'clock, here's the one thing I would love. Here's my one gripe if I can. Forget the PIP. The PIP is a nightmare. They're going to figure it out. I say they figure it out in like 2 months. I don't know why it's not even a thing yet. It used to bother me when I would watch Europa League or Champions League on Paramount Plus, and I forgot how annoying it is, especially it's a 7-hour broadcast. I'm not like some of you who sits at home on his couch watching all of this. You got to walk around. You got to walk the dog.
It feels like it's a slight every time.
No, because I get people who are like, oh, how dare you do something else? I'm sorry, but I have to do something, all right? I have things to do. I want to go on the Peloton. I want to do something, all right? I can't just sit there, and I've got things going on. There's text flying in. There's things.
Tried an iPad.
What does that mean, an iPad? What does that mean? Just have a secondary thing?
I don't know it. I don't know why everyone keeps telling you to get an iPad.
Okay, anyway. My one gripe is, like, by the time we hit the main card, 9 o'clock, we don't need 20 minutes of filler. Like, they're sort of ingrained with the 20 minutes of, like, this card is great, and the prelims have been great, and Sydney is great, but, like, Why can't we just start the main card? At that point, you're in. You don't need to sell me on anything anymore. You don't need me to tell.
Tourism board got to get that money. Come on.
Okay, but we don't need 20 minutes. To be honest, like, if you're watching the main card, you probably have been watching for at least an hour or so, if not more. Do we need the whole reset? Do we need we don't really learn a lot in those 20 minutes. I don't know. I feel Zach is an incredible producer. He's unbelievable. I feel like we could get it down to like at least 10. You know, like 9 o'clock, 9, 10, let's go.
I think so too. But I have to say, obviously we're doing the watch party. Y'all are doing the post show and everything. We're in a different scenario. If you're just a fan sitting at home, that fight, Volk and Diego were done talking by midnight.
That was nice.
Like, you could just, if you wanted to, you could just turn the TV off and go to bed.
I like a little bit of reset. I'm okay with how this went. I'm fine with it.
You got to have the Dateline XYZ.
I'm not saying you can do all that in 5 minutes. Get us in there.
You got to have them standing there and then the iconic step in of Joe and DC.
Sure.
You guys look great.
It wasn't even Joe this time.
What's your thing that DC said?
Always. This card's been crazy. This card is insane. I couldn't believe
it's electric in here. I love Sydney. Wow.
I love what DC said. He's like, I don't like going to international cities, but I like Sydney. I was like, oh, I'm going to remember this the next time you tell us about how great Abu Dhabi is or how great Macau is.
You're calling Cap?
Well, he said it. I mean, he said, I don't like going to these places, but I do love Sydney. I was like, oh, wow, how convenient.
Why do they not like going international?
I think it's just a long trip. You know, he's got a lot going on.
I mean, actually, though, especially on the back-to-back cards.
Yeah. That's a lot.
A lot.
But overall, it was great. You're right. The walkouts were at 11:15 or so. The main event ended, and the Jabberwockies were walking out Teofimo Lopez. Like, there was a whole other main event. We ended first, and usually sometimes it's been boxing ending before the UFC. So I like that very much. That was great.
And in addition to that, for Uncrowned Saturday, the Royal Rumble ended, and I literally flipped over to Paramount, and the prelims were already started.
All rolled into each other. Yeah,
it was great.
It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. Let's talk about the rest of the results on this card. So co-main event, big one in the lightweight division. The resurgence of BSD continues. Benoit Saint-Denis. What do you guys think? Benoit Saint-Denis, he beats Dan Hooker. Fight goes on a little bit long. Herb Dean gave Dan every opportunity. I think Dan came back too soon. Love Dan. I think he's reached that legendary status where people just love watching him fight and everything he's all about and what he represents. BSD is on some kind of roll as of late. He is a completely different fighter. He's that guy that we thought he was prior to the Poirier fight. He said he wants BMF or undisputed. I don't see that happening, but call me crazy. I do feel like they call up Armin and say, like, all right, you want this? You got to get by this guy.
It makes all the sense in the world for everybody but Armin Tsarukyan.
Sure.
Every other justification is right there lined up. There's nobody else that he can really fight. It makes a lot of sense. It's two top contenders. It makes sense for everybody but Armin Tsarukyan, who shouldn't have to fight BSD to get his opportunity.
Do you guys think they do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think so?
It's just like we talk about nonsensical matchmaking. It's just like, why? They both just beat the same guy.
Well, here's the reality of the situation. They eliminated a great option, which would have been Justin Gaethje versus BSD, by putting a Fugazi belt on him. It makes no sense. He doesn't need to be carrying a title. You could have just done Justin Gaethje versus BSD. Perfect fight. Winner of that fights after Armin Tsarukyan gets a shot. We're all good. Now we've got Justin Gaethje out of the mix because he's holding a belt that doesn't have any meaning and doesn't make any sense. And now you have to have a guy like Armin fight BSD.
Think there's any chance they do winner of BMF title against BSD?
I'm fine with it, but it just feels...
I could even see loser.
Loser? Oh, against BSD? Yeah, well, I guess. But now he's won 4 in a row.
Top 6 or something now.
I know, but whoever loses is still going to be
And Max Holloway versus
ranked
BSD,
higher.
if he wins, would be a fun
Great fight.
Can I tell you something that I was thinking? This is kind of a tangent, but I was just thinking about it because I was thinking about the lightweight division having 3 belts right now. Like, this says it all about the BMF title and how ridiculous it is. The 2 guys who are fighting for the BMF title, who did they just lose to? Their most recent losses.
Ilya
Topuria not only beat both of them very recently, but knocked both of them out, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How could you say in the same weight class that you're the baddest mother effer when the guy who knocked you out in your most recent losses is the actual champion? Like, in what universe does Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira have a case to be made that they're a badder mother effer than the guy who knocked them out.
But you're following conventional logic.
It makes no sense.
Whereas the BMF belt is Nate Diaz logic. And so that's a different territory.
It makes no
The
sense.
interim
It never makes
champion
sense.
also's most recent loss is to the BMF champion.
Yeah.
That's weird too.
It's a staircase.
But this is the first time where it's like the two guys fighting for the BMF actually got knocked out by the actual champion, who I think is the BMF.
Yes, but this belt was
It really makes no sense.
this belt was created by Nate Diaz, who was never beating any of those guys.
he
It
was on a
doesn't
run.
have to follow logic.
But people are going to be like,
He
oh,
knocked
this
down
dude's the
Ler-
baddest.
he
And then
knocked-
Ilya's
he
at home
knocked
being
down-
like, wait, what?
He knocked down Leon Edwards once, and everybody acted like he won that fight too. It never made any sense. The BMF title isn't supposed to make sense. We're applying too much logic to the BMF title. By the way, if we're ranking them, I actually still have the BMF above the interim title in terms of the stature and relevance of it.
Sorta, I guess, but
Justin Gaethje lost to Max Holloway.
I know. It's
Also,
over.
people will always call for the BMF because you can headline pay-per-views with it now.
Yeah.
They did it for Dustin and
Sure,
Justin. They did it for Max and Dustin. They're doing it for Max and Charles.
It's just so weird, this fascination.
Undisputed,
This love of it.
BMF, interim title. That's the current lightweight title ranking.
What a mess. What an absolute mess. Mauricio Hufi defeated Rafael Fiziev via second round knockout. What a great fight and finish that was. That right hand just, detonated on Fiziev. And then he was on roller skates. And just, this guy is good. This guy is good. And if you wrote him off after the loss to BSD, by the way, that win, aging very nicely, but he's looking crisp. I don't know what's going on with him and Fighting Nerds. John Silva, did he unfollow him? Did he not? I saw a video of Caio Bajalio going nuts over him and the victory and really showing him a lot of love. So I don't know what's going on over there, but a great win. Yeah, here's Caio watching the fight. And like he's, poha, 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 poha. He was loving it. Like, that's a friend right there. That's a teammate. So I don't know. It feels like much ado about nothing. He linked up with Volk's team. I think it's a great win, and he got a performance bonus, by the way, for that as well, $100K. Taliesin Teixeira versus Tai Tuivasa. I had a lot of fun watching this. Tai is just so fun, and I know it was sloppy, and I know they were tired. The end of the fight, in which the Sydney crowd was audibly willing Tai to kind of get over the hump and figure this out and trying to will him to get the victory and break the losing streak, was actually very sweet. It was nice to see. In the end, he couldn't get it done. I would like to see him get one more crack. Do you guys think he gets another crack, or do you think that's it? I feel like he gets one more.
I am convinced he will get another crack. We've lost six in a row now. None of them have really been that competitive. I know he had some moments late in that third round, but he was completely gassed out.
Yeah.
To the point where it looked like he had Taliesin on skates and he just could not finish the job. I don't know. How long do you let it go?
If I'm Tai, do I even want another crack? Right? Maybe you can
retire?
rejuvenate your career. No. Like, go to BKFC or something. We've seen Ben Rothwell. We've seen other heavyweights be able to just how fun would Tai Tuivasa be? I don't know if he's into bare knuckles.
Just less secure.
I get it, but you're on the way out, brother. We have to accept reality at a certain point. This losing skid is
right
not
there.
gonna
He was right there in the third round.
No,
he wasn't.
too gassed. No.
I was cheering as hard as anybody. I was really hoping he was going to do it.
I know.
But yeah, man, it's also it's a bit of an indictment on the heavyweight division. I know they're the bigger guys, but it's just like, imagine a lightweight only after 3 rounds has a guy on skates and he just has to clinch up with him because they're literally both death gassing. The picture of the night from that fight was both of them with their hands on their hips, just kind of looking at each other in the third round. They're just like, yeah, I'm dead.
By the way, I'm old enough to remember Ben Rothwell, the aforementioned Ben Rothwell, looking like that against Mark Hunt at UFC 150. So, people get tired. People get tired sometimes.
I love Tai. I want to see him get back in the win column, but man, if anybody can take him down, he's going to struggle tremendously.
Billy Elikana and Junior Tafa, fun little fight there. Billy wins via second round rear naked choke, yes?
I was just going to say, speaking of struggling when it goes to the mat.
Yeah, Junior.
That was over the second it hit the ground.
Cam Rouston had a nice post-fight interview and a great fight as well, beating Cody Brundage. Jacob Malkoun against Torres Finney. Interesting to hear DC call the Torres Finney fight. He's a part of his team. He didn't have much for Malkoun. Malkoun won via unanimous decision. Jonathan McAuliffe probably lost 98% of the fight against Oban Elliott, and he ended up winning via second round, a rear naked choke. Oban not tapping, going to sleep, and I spoke to him. Obviously, upset. May have injured his eye in a serious way from one punch. He's gutted. But I thought he looked really good. Early in that fight, and it looked like he was really, he was really grooving out there. And then everything fell apart in the second round.
It was a tough beat for him, but I agree with you. Like, this didn't show me like, oh, Oban Elliott can't hang. This showed me that he got caught, and I'd still like to see what he does next. Kanofli
won a majority decision, and that was controversial to some. And then you had the road to UFC bouts, and for more on the road to UFC brackets and where things stand after Saturday's fights, we bring in our road to UFC expert, the one and only PT Carroll. Well, great timing on this Monday evening. BT, please take it away. Let us know you're here to break it all down for us. What a fortuitous turn of events that you're here just as I landed that plane. Go ahead, please.
Well, it was a huge night for road to the UFC. Many trod the path to the UFC on the night, and they will now be, I believe, in the UFC now.
They're on the road.
Yes.
Is your video frozen?
I thought he froze. PT, where you been at, man? The rodeo?
How did you know?
Is it all denim? Please tell me it's all denim.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
It's not a Canadian tuxedo.
No. I have the makings of one. Someday I'll come in wearing one.
Top button. It looks like you were just ripping a lasso out there.
I love it. That's my look.
Jordan actually, for the tuxedo thing, Jordan recommended that I show up to the award ceremony this year wearing full Canadian tuxedo. So maybe we'll look into that for next year.
Well, in case you're wondering why PT is joining us now, the new arrangement is, all right, because the pay-per-views are starting an hour earlier and ending an hour earlier, he'll show up an hour late to the show. So it kind of works out, I think. I think it's on the post-PLE, right? So that's the arrangement. And here you are showing up 13 minutes earlier.
For a maximum of 20 minutes, I think.
That's it. Yeah.
It says it in the contract. Yeah. So I'm on the clock now. You have 18 minutes left. Please ask me whatever you need to ask me.
Okay, perfect. So we just spoke a lot about UFC 325. Obviously, what should we talk about? I want to get in the Royal Rumble stuff just for a moment, because PT was on fire when it came to the Royal Rumble on the group chat. It might have been his finest hour, honestly. You were hitting us with so many zingers. It was unbelievable. But honestly, there is a zingers aside, there's a bigger story to talk about. And it's I still can't tell if the place was as empty as everyone was saying it was. Then I saw these other pictures where there were lights on top of the chairs, and it was just the lights and the reflection. I don't know how many people were there. They said 20-something thousand. The biggest thing is I don't think there's any disagreement in the fact that the crowd was not as hyped as a usual Royal Rumble crowd. We all agree it's our favorite event of the year. That's why we do the lottery. By the way, shout out to Frankie for winning on the men's and women's side of things.
Yeah.
Frank?
Did I win? Because I haven't received
I
full
won the
payment
women's
yet.
Royal Rumble.
Well, he won.
I won the men's, actually, so I don't know how Frankie won, but
as far as points, I think he won.
I think we just need to
nothing.
review. I think we need to check into the
Wait, what
scoring
was that, Frank? What was that about the...
I said, did I win? Because I haven't received full payment yet.
This
guy's over here talking about contracts and shit. He can't even adhere to the one
I
team.
sent in my payment.
Oh, you're good.
Rick, did you send in yours?
The Americans
did.
and Canadians are good.
GC, did you send
I
in
was
yours?
the first one to send it. I started the trend.
Wow.
Jordan, was I the first one to send mine?
Oh, PayPal Pete, come on,
I
man.
can confirm that no Aussie Brit Scott has sent in any money.
Okay.
Well, this is the thing. The post is going to take a few weeks to get there.
All right.
I put it in the post, $20 in the envelope. I had to pay tax on that $20 as well. So you actually owe me, I believe it's $2.50 when
20
I see
quid?
you next, Frank. Yeah. So, no, I had to get the money turned into dollars. That was a whole day.
You're good for it, though. You're good for it.
It's on the way. It's on the post. So, what did you just want me to do? Get one of these foreign apps and download some type of virus onto my phone?
Yeah,
like you had me do with, what was it, Ruvian or whatever?
Revolut, yes.
Revolut.
And your phone was never the same, GC. So
Uh,
it got bugs. It screws up all the time now. Thanks for that. The Irish Venmo.
But seriously, guys, is there they're going to WrestleMania in Riyadh next year? Is there a concern, do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think there is? Or is the money so great, who cares?
For WWE, there might not be a concern.
For
but from a
fans.
fan perspective, yeah, it's concerning.
No, I think WWE is very concerned.
You think so? Tell us.
They're used to a TV product where people are going absolutely apeshit for everything they do. And when you have wrestlers in the Royal Rumble coming in, doing their moves that are supposed to pop the crowd and hearing crickets. That is a big production concern for the WWE. I mean, we may just go back to Thunderdome era where they start piping in applause and cheers and shit. But yes, WWE has to be very concerned. It doesn't matter how much money they're bringing in. I think they don't have any regrets about going, nor will they have any regrets about going for WrestleMania. What they need to solve for is how do we fix the lack of energy and enthusiasm? And they will solve that. Whether it be artificial,
felt like it was lacking. It really did feel like it
felt like there was 53 people.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
I don't know how they get around this. I mean,
no,
these events
paper
aren't
the
stopping.
venue.
They paper the venue. Like no one's there. No, like no.
They'll get more. They will paper it with free tickets. Come in.
You think they're gonna fly people in?
Sure. Look. If you get $100 million to do it, yeah, you fly people in. No problem. We'll fly in a bunch. Hey, you want to have a great experience? We'll fly you over for WrestleMania. No problem. Yes, that's how you solve it. You fake it. You fake it, and you make the crowd be enthusiastic. How by any means necessary. Fake the crowd noise. Whatever you need to do, you fake it.
Yeah, I think they might have faked the crowd noise a little bit.
Sure. By the way, they've been known to do that. They've been known to do that in the past.
Pumped in.
But I still don't know. Like, were those seats empty or not?
They were empty as shit.
They were empty. But then there were those other pictures where like there were lights and stuff. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, they put like lights in the seat to like I think like give the illusion that there was more going on in the crowd than there was.
Golly.
You could tell when there was popping.
Screens
during
the COVID era?
Like Thunderdome.
Yeah. It's like the Rumble's so much fun and to
even for the men's event.
Yeah.
When lads were coming out, like, you're expecting a big pop, the music hits. I was like, well, I thought I'd be the only one who didn't know these lads, but it turns out the people in Riyadh don't have a clue who these lads are either.
Compared to like John Cena in Belgium last year, where it's just like the roof came off the place when he showed up.
They will not let that happen again. I guarantee it.
You think WrestleMania will feel different?
100%.
All right. Well, let's see.
They said there was 25,000 people there on Saturday. I do not buy that. I don't think there was 25,000 people there. And you're supposed to do what? 45, 50,000 for
2 nights, by the way.
Isn't it like actually like 75K each night?
Yeah.
Aren't they selling out stadiums?
Yeah. In Vegas,
There's no way that's showing up for WrestleMania.
Yeah. The biggest issue is how are you going to get people to come? Because WrestleMania always has people coming from all over. They make a whole week out of it. There's indie shows. How are you going to get people to come and stay there? And what are you going to do throughout the week to keep them enticed and to get them to come?
I think WrestleMania will draw. We know people travel for WrestleMania. I think you just have to make it worth their while. And if you can't, you pay them.
Pizzi, UFC London has been announced. Like the main event, hate the main event. Like the card, hate the card.
Love the main event. I will say it does feel very heavy on the main event, and they do have some great fighters there. But MVP v Patterson, it just feels like a wild piece of matchmaking to me. Sola v Jones, Mason Jones, that's going to be a brilliant fight. There are a lot of good fights. It's just MVP v Patterson, and Patterson is like in a completely different stage of his career to MVP. MVP is like a legacy fighter in the UK. Put Sam in against him, who's doing great things, who's looked phenomenal. Came back from an early loss in the UFC and put together a lot of wins and looked really impressive. That matchmaking just seems a bit strange to me. Maybe I'm being overcritical, but it does feel like a bit of a step back in terms of what we were getting. Say, I always talk about that summer of 2022 card with Aspinall at the top of the card and Paddy was making his UK debut, Arnold Allen v Dan Hooker, all that. That was like a magic moment that the UK was in. This does feel a bit more back towards the Jimmy Manoa days to me, to be honest. But they were great days as well, always sold out, had great crowds at them. I just don't think they really have the foot to the mat like they did have for a couple of years there in London.
Well, Lerone Murphy is going to join us in about 10 minutes to talk about this main event. He did weigh in, I do believe, on social media very recently. We have something from Mr. Miracle, Lerone Murphy. No? All right. I had a Lerone. Okay. There it is. Told you so. I believe I have the style to dethrone the champ. And perhaps that's referring to Diego's performance in the main event. Here's Movsar Evloev weighing in. I'm coming for what's mine. So that is your main event. Let me run through some other news and notes here real quick. John Silva weighing in on Volkanovski in a little bit of a terrifying video, like the way it was shot. He's looking very intense, is John Silva. going on and on about. Do we have this? Yeah. I'll read it because it's in Portuguese. I know that Volkanovski is asking for Evloev, and I don't know what he's asking the guys to not get hurt. Bro, sorry to inform you. If you want to stay good without getting hurt, but if you want to fight a guy who hits hard, I'm your guy. And I will tell you, I'm going there into camp with Topuria to break you. I'll let you know. I'll warn you. I go there. Could you imagine that? Where's my manager? Ask for help. To Topuria, please. To break Volkanovski. Oh, dear. All right, so let's see. We just spoke about Mauricio Sulaiman. He was in a sling after his win. So we'll see if there's an update on him. Here's Mr. Rafael Fiziev weighing in after the loss. There's nothing to say. We got our ass beat big time. That was a real beatdown. What can you do? I live the life. I'm a fighter. I'll be back. I love this post from Dan Hooker before he went to the arena. You know, they have to fight early in the morning over there. And here's wholesome Dan in bed. I wake up warm inside. I go fight now. I mean, how do you not love Dan Hooker, right? He's the man. There was some big news during the day on Saturday. Shavkat Rakhmonov has re-injured his knee, the same knee that kept him out of action for the entirety of 2025. He had to get surgery. Didn't get surgery the first time. This video surfaced, crutches, brace. He re-injured it recently in January, had surgery, everyone freaking out, and now he's out, according to his manager, Danny Rubenstein, who tells me 9 to 10 months at least. Oof. He posted this. I had surgery. We'll need time to fully recover. My return to the octagon postponed. People are saying, by the way, this is the end of Shavkat. Let's not forget, Dominic Cruz had multiple surgeries, was out for about 3 years, came back, beat TJ Dillashaw. I don't think it's the end of him, but certainly he's not next for Islam. And I feel like it has to be Ian Gary now. It just absolutely has to be Ian Gary. Ian was his last opponent. Ian has the most impressive wins. PT, it has to be Ian, right? It has to be Ian versus Islam.
Yeah, I think so now. I think Shavkat's been removed from the equation. I think you have to give it to Ian. Look, and about the Shavkat news, the reason why Dominic Cruz is so celebrated out is because he managed to come back from that. And all of us, let's remember, we were not confident that he could ever do something like that. And that's what made it so impressive, the fact that he did come back, win the belt, came back, looked so well in that return fight as well. That's because he's the exception to the rule. It's very worrying just for fight fans in general. And look, we all want to see Shavkat back, but that's an incredibly depressing update. A guy that we all dreamed about fighting for the title now sidelined again. And it's not like he is a spring chicken either. He's not an old man, don't get me wrong, but it's not good news, a double knee situation like that. And I think that's really the headline for me. Like, this guy, this magical dude we all kind of saw as the boogeyman of the division, may never get his shot now. And certainly even that's really putting it, it's too simple putting it that way. Like, he's going to have to rebuild in the title shot. We were already saying he was kind of out of this equation because he hadn't been active. A lot of people were saying he still deserves it, but add another year onto that, he's going to have to rebuild a whole title run here on a knee that's had operations a couple of times. It is a shame. It's a really, really sad situation.
Yeah,
I agree.
It made me think of Khabib, right? How many people were like, is Khabib ever going to be the same? Is he done? And to be honest, he said as much. He said, like, it nearly retired me. So it is no doubt a long road back for Shavkat Rakhmonov, and one of the guys that we groomed as a no-brainer future champion. It's now in question.
And he's in a division, by the way, where there's a ton of killers, so it's not like he gets to just kind of return and fight for the belt and kind of be the number one guy. I mean, like, who knows who's going to be there in 9-10 months. Look how much has changed in the last 9-10 months. We thought Sean Brady was next, and then he loses to a guy named Michael Morales, and there's Carlos Prates, and there's Ian Gary, and, you know, Islam's there, and JDM is going to get another crack. There's just there's a lot that he's going to have to deal with now. There was a photo with him and Mirko Krokop at that event, which was cool to see, but again, further indication of the knee brace. You could see it right over there. So we do wish him the best. We also wish the best to Kayla Harrison, who was back at American Top Team. So great that she's able to fly home. Look at that scar on her neck. I mean, she's just an absolute I mean, she's an inspiration. She's been through so much. She still wants to fight. I always say this about fighters, like there's a thing that happened to you that made you go under the knife and put you in a really tough spot, and you still want to do that thing. The fact that you still want to do that thing, most mere mortals would say like, yeah, I'm done with that thing. I don't want to do that thing anymore. That resulted in that. And she's doing everything in her power to come back, and perhaps she comes back on that White House card. That would be a great, great story considering she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Donald Trump was speaking to reporters recently, and he had this to say about the White House card, which made everyone lose their minds. Take a listen.
They are going to put up something that's really amazing. It's really having to do with our great 250th birthday, where we're having so many wonderful things. UFC is coming, as you know, in front of the White House with a building, literally a stadium. We're going to have over 100,000 people. And this is going to have a lot of people. I won't even say how many people, because I think it can set a record for racing. It's going to be very, very important. We're celebrating.
So he's talking about a race that is going to be over there, an IndyCar race, but the 100,000, I think he's referring to that area that Dana White has talked about. I can't imagine them putting 100,000 people at the White House. We still don't know.
Don't forget, by the way, last week, Dana White saying UFC is going to pay for all this, and now Donald Trump saying, 100,000, like, that bill ain't going to be cheap.
No, it's not. We still don't know who's going to be on the card, but I can tell you I was at MSG twice this weekend, and I can't even remember how many times I was asked about the White House card. Like everybody's like, yo, Helwani, who's headlining the White House? I don't know. Khamzat Chimaev wants to be on the White House card, and he wants to fight Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira wants to fight John Jones. Here's Khamzat tweeting to Alex over this past week. If you show respect, I show back respect. Kama team talk too much. That's why no respect anymore. Boris 15 wins, Kama 13 W and 3 losses. Only this is the difference between us. So he's campaigning. He had a busy week, that Khamzat. He got into someone at the weigh-ins of some event overseas. Here he is. There's a little fracas here. PT, tell us about this event. What is this? Dubai Fight Night 47? What is this? Here's Khamzat watching his teammate get pushed, and then he puts his finger in the guy's chest, the other guy, and he's like, don't you dare push my friend. Don't you dare. You know who I am? I'm Boris. I eat your head off. What a scene.
He enjoys a non-fight related kind of fracas, doesn't he? Like he is the man for that moment. If you are weighing in, you should pay Chimaev to come with you. Yeah, he loves it. Ian Gary will tell you he was nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Just this guy's crazy. This is the first I'm hearing about the event, Ariel. Okay. Busy weekend. There's a lot of events on. You know what I mean? Sure. Hugely impressive. Impressive.
Speaking of weigh-ins, by the way, what about Aaron Tao over at the UFC weigh-ins trying to pull the old DC with the look at the arm on the
he's leaning on it. He's leaning on the box of shame.
Yeah, the box of shame.
I think well played, to be fair.
I agree.
I think it was actually brilliant. To be honest.
Why is he being penalized?
As the great Eddie Guerrero once said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. He did it. He did his best. The old college try. What's the alternative? Go up there and miss weight? Like, I mean, it worked for DC. Why
maybe don't go so heavy.
Yeah.
The 7 pounds is a lot.
Yeah. He messed up the calibration.
Yeah.
Rookie move.
Messed it up bad. DC kind of he just kind of lightly held it.
Well,
got that one off.
It feels
DC also had a lot more weight, and he snuck it by there.
It really feels like that's like a one and done. Like he did it once and no one else will be able to do it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't prevent it, right? Because they could conceivably put their arms on that. They did the smart thing. They said, okay, now step back on there. Let me see that again. Let me see where you're really
Well played by the commissioner. I wonder, we've seen fighters cut off their hair. I wonder if you get that tattoo laser removed and then get back on.
I thought you were going to go with the hair there because he does have a ponytail, but I don't know.
Cut the hair and then hold it on the scale.
He did go on social media and apologize about the mishap. I need you here, GC.
I need to apologize to my opponent, the UFC, my team, and my fans. Though I pushed it to the end, I have one job, to make weight and fight. I didn't do that. I'm sorry.
It's tough. Also, that font on the picture is tough to read,
It's not great.
Speaking of statements on social media, here's Alex Hernandez breaking his silence about his fight against Michael Johnson getting canceled just a couple hours before UFC 324. I would never dishonor myself or this sport by not giving my absolute all in competition. I've been through a great deal in my career to be in the auspicious position I am in. Tremendous word. I do not take that lightly. I do not take my work or the work of others lightly. It is extraordinarily disheartening after a complete camp and weight cut to have a fight forfeited, certainly from matters outside my control. I understand the FBI is doing their job. Crazy. I understand the UFC is doing their job. I'm trying to get back to doing my job as quickly as possible. I hope this matter is resolved with expedience. I'm in the prime of my career. Wow. I do not want my time stolen.
Bro pulled out the thesaurus for that one.
Hell yeah.
Impressive.
Can we talk about the font as well? Veteran font there.
Veteran font,
learn from this.
Yes. Times New Roman, I think. Shout out. Also impressive, by the way. Look at Francis Ngannou on the pitch, guys. Look at this from Francis. You see this? Looking like a young P.T. Carroll here on the pitch. Look at this from Francis.
I was left foot player myself. Right player.
I mean, he might be able to start for Man United with a right foot like that, right?
Not Man United, not anymore, but I'm sure Forrest would have a look.
When was this?
This was like yesterday, I think.
How's he wearing shorts and short sleeves? What's going on here? Beautiful summer sky behind him there.
Maybe he's in Africa or something. I don't know.
Later, Graham?
Is this...
Was he not at Parc des Princes?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
Has this been...
Listen, soccer players wear shorts all the time. You know?
I think it's a later.
Do we believe... There's a cut shot there, right? He kicks the ball, the camera pans around, and it ends up in the wheelie bin.
Oh. I thought it was cool.
Is that what they call trash cans in Ireland? Wheelie bin?
Wheelie bin, yeah, because they got wheels on them in their bins.
All right.
I got to add that to the repertoire.
More to come, fellas. More to come. Back end of the program. No, I think that might be it. But trust me, more of you to come as I head off to Italia. So more to come. But back into the program, we will have Robert Whittaker join us. Quillan Salkilld will join us. Mauricio Sulaiman is going to join us. Can't wait for that chat in studio. And Shu Shu Carrington, who won the WBC featherweight title. But we've been talking a lot about Lerone Murphy, not only today, but over the course of the week as we headed into UFC 325. I couldn't help but wonder while watching that fight, I wonder what Lerone is thinking about all of this, because a lot of people, including myself, thought he should have been fighting for the belt on Saturday night. Well, we find out this morning he's returning to action finally on the 21st of March in London against the one and only Movsar Evloev. We suspect that's a number one contender fight, and he's kind enough to give us some time here after the big announcement. Let's say hello to Lerone Murphy. There he is. The man is here. Hello, Lerone. How are you?
I'm all good, brother. Just finished training. Just on my way home, actually, but all good.
I appreciate you squeezing us in. I know I caught you in between sessions there, so thank you so much. Won't keep you too long. First, could we go in chronological order? Did you watch the main event on Saturday or maybe Sunday over in the UK? And if so, what did you think of the fight? What were you thinking as you were watching Volk do that again to Diego Lopez?
I think everybody knew what was going to happen in that fight. Volk, to be fair, Diego made some adjustments. He looked better. He looked better, to be fair. But Volk's just got his number, and everybody knew that was going to happen. So Volk looked good as well. So, but it hurt watching that fight, thinking I should have been there in it. But we've got a new fight in our hands, so let's get it.
Oh, I was just going to ask that. So as you're watching that, are you thinking about you being in there? It should have been you. How you would have fought him? Are those thoughts going through your mind?
Yeah, it wasn't really. It should have been me. It was just more so how would I have dealt with that fight, and I really believe that Father Time catches up with everybody, and I think if I was in there, I would have got the job done. That's no disrespect to Volk, great fighter, obviously on top for a reason, but I just seen a lot of things in there that I would have been doing.
You're feeling like he's getting to that point when you talk about Father Time. You're feeling like he's getting to that point where he is ripe for the taking.
I think it's just only natural. It's only natural. Everybody does. And I think, obviously, it's a fight. Anyone can get clipped. But I just think the shots that Diego was hurting him with, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard to say from the outside looking in. But I just feel like right now, I am the best in the world at featherweight.
I remember when we spoke, when they made the decision to go with Diego against Alex, and we had you on the show, and you were pretty upset, at least as far as like Lerone Murphy being upset goes. Like you don't strike me as someone who gets really mad, but I could tell that you were a little bit annoyed at how things had turned out, and you were trying to be, the most respectful and classy guy possible, which you usually are. How long did it take for you to get over that decision and say, all right, this is it, I now need to focus on the new task? How long did you sort of have to sit with that?
Yeah, do you know what? I've just learned in life you can't cry over spilt milk, and what is it isn't it? So me sulking is not going to change anything. It's just that I've just got to go and deal with the next thing in line, and obviously they've given me a matchup now. I've got to get through this next guy, which I believe we're the two of the best in the world right now. This been for the title. I think undefeated versus undefeated. I'll save that for the title. It would have been a better story, but it's a great fight. London headline, and the winner will win the title, I believe. So let's get to it.
When did you find out that this was the next fight for you? This was the date. This was the opponent. This was it.
Just a few weeks ago, just a few weeks ago. But obviously, seeing the way the division mapped out, it was obvious that they was going to go with that fight.
Okay. And have you been told, or your management, have they been told, you win this fight, you are 100% getting a title shot? Is this going to be billed as a true number one contender fight? It should be, but sometimes they don't make those announcements or make those promises.
At this point, words are wind, innit? It's like the division's forever changing, and it's a performance-based company. Someone's got to go out there and put on a good fight, and then it's nothing's concrete, and that's what I'm trying to say. Nothing's concrete, but I hope so.
Do you feel like like a win isn't enough? Do you feel like you have to win spectacularly, like you did back in August, in order to convince them that you should be the guy?
I believe the matchmakers know what type of matchup this is. I think it would be unfair to say you've got to go out there and get a crazy knockout to get the title. Everybody knows what type of fight this is going to be, and what type of fighter I'm fighting against. So I think the winners should be undeniably next in line for the title. Simple.
As far as the matchup goes, Movsar has been a very tough out for everyone that he has faced. When you see him, what kind of holes are you seeing in his game? We know about his ground game. We know about his grappling. Is it the striking? What are you seeing when you watch him?
Movsar's elite, man. Movsar's elite. Very good fighter. Very good fighter. Good everywhere, to be honest. But I just believe I'm going to take him into deep waters. I believe it's no secret what I'm going to do in it. It's going to be defensive wrestling and vicious offense, and that's it. I'm just going to put him under pressure, and pressure him and make him make a mistake. I'm going to be going for the knockout. I'm going to be hunting for the knockout from bell to bell.
You said as you were watching Volk, you picture yourself beating him. Do you think Movsar beats him at this point? Like if Movsar was the guy in there on Saturday, do you think he would have won that fight?
I think it's a different fight stylistically. Everyone knows Volk's got great takedown defense. Movsar's a wrestler predominantly. He's not going to beat him standing. He's going to try wrestle him, and so it's a different fight. You've seen Volkanovski go against the guy like the Makhachev, big, a better version of Movsar, better version of Movsar. So I think that Volk would do well with Movsar, to be honest. Stylistically, I think the guys that give Volk a problem are the strikers. The guys like me, guys like Gene Silva, just the strikers of the division.
Speaking of Mr. Silva, he's campaigning for a fight against Volkanovski. He's saying he's going to go train with Ilia Topuria. He's going to break him all this stuff. Is there any part of you that fears that he is going to cut the line?
Nah, the UFC can't do that. The UFC can't do that. I think if he went out there and finished Allen, then who knows, innit? But I think with him coming off a loss and then winning by decision, it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong, it's a great fight. But he's got to win one more at least. He's got to win one more at least. I think they'll end up putting him against the loser of my fight, probably.
Okay. By the way, speaking of Volkanovski, we just played a clip of him from the post-fight press conference on Saturday where he's like, hey, I'm the type of champion who wants to give everyone a chance. I feel bad for the guys like Lerone and Movsar who didn't get this chance. I need to set that tone and standard. That's how champions should conduct themselves. Like, he is your biggest advocate, and he's the one that was the loudest about the injustice and all of this. What do you make of just how he's handled all of this? I was wondering how you thought of it, because a lot of people in his position would just be like, give me the money fight. Give me the sexiest opponent. He does everything but that. He does the complete opposite.
Bro, Volk is the guy. And I've got the utmost respect for him as a champion to be doing what he's doing, and he's searching for the best fights. And I think if it was up to Volk, he would have fought me. 100% he would have fought me. It was not up to Volk, it's up to the company. So, and he's just going out there and fighting the next best, and that's how I believe every champion should be. Just defend the belt against the next best. So yeah, I've got massive respect for Volk. And how he handled the situation, and hopefully I get the chance to share the octagon with him.
And how about you getting to headline at the O2, getting this opportunity as the guy? This whole card is going to be surrounded and centered on you. You're going to be the star. This is a homecoming. You know, the last time you fought in London a few years ago, you're lower on the card. Aspinall's at the top. Just from a personal and career standpoint, a professional standpoint, what does this moment mean to you?
Well, it's a massive moment, and it just shows where my career has gone and how well I've done, really. Like you said, I remember being the prelims of the London cards, and now to headline it, such a big fight. I love it, and I love the pressure of it as well. I think it's going to bring the best out in me, and I'm going to give the UK fans a good fight. I'm going to bring this guy into deep waters. Trust me. I believe it's going to bring the best Lerone Murphy out, and I'm going to put on a great fight.
Considering now that you know how the story played out, does it take the sting away a little bit? Because if you're fighting this past weekend, you don't get this headlining, act at home at the O2 in London. And so maybe by the end of the year, you win this fight, then you get the title shot. Like, knowing how it kind of played out like this, does it make you feel a little bit less upset about how it played out with you not getting the title shot at 325?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it's like every piece is a part of the puzzle, and every piece is a bit to the story. And every time I get knocked back in life and come back, it always makes the wins sweeter. I've been through everything and come back and got wins. So it's like it's gonna make the story sweeter. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it would. Yeah, fighting in London is great, but I would have obviously preferred to fight for the title. Right. But yeah, it makes the story sweeter. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that there's a chance you win this fight on the 21st of March and they ask you for a quick turnaround? Are you preparing for that mentally? Because Volk says he wants to fight. He doesn't want to sit. He wants to fight maybe 2-3 times this year. And sometimes the UFC will do that. Do you think that's a possibility? Are you preparing yourself for that?
Bro, of course. I'm not looking past Movsar one little bit. I'm not even thinking about a title fight. I'm thinking about boom. I've got the toughest guy in the division. I'm fully focused on that fight. I'm not even thinking about Volkanovski. I think it will be a big mistake to do that. I've got to fully focus on this fight on the 21st of March, and then we'll start thinking. And if I come out, listen, I'm looking to put my body on the line. I don't think you guys understand what I'm looking to do in there. So if I come out healthy, I'll be ready to go again.
One last one. Arman Tsarukyan saying he's considering dropping down or would be open to dropping down to 45. What do you make of that, and do you consider him a threat?
Obviously he's a great fighter. If he comes down, of course he's going to be a threat, but I don't think he's going to come down. I heard him say something about coming down to fight Volk, but if the UFC are not giving him a title shot at 55, why are they going to give him a title shot at 45? Like, I think he was just saying that for media. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we don't have to worry about that now. You got your fight against Movsar March 21st, O2 Arena. What a great opportunity for you. What an absolute amazing spotlight and stage this is for you. Thank you so much for the time, Lerone. Really appreciate you squeezing us in. Wish you all the best in training, and can't wait to see you do your thing on the 21st of March.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All the best. There he is. Lerone Murphy, massive opportunity for him coming up on the 21st of March. A number one contender fight, if there ever was a number one contender fight. So that is a huge one. Two studs going toe-to-toe to get a crack at Alex Volkanovski, and the timing kind of works out with him fighting this week, and I would say that the schedules are lining up. Okay, speaking of Arman Tsarukyan, a few other things. He is still on his world tour, and he's still doing his thing. Here's a very recent one, actually one that he just posted, I think, like an hour ago. Here's Arman on the slopes in France. What's going on here? He's on the snowboard. He's on the snowboard. And what's that, a baguette? And who's that gentleman? What's going on over there? I mean, this is some kind of treatment. Oh, that guy was about to knock him. Oh, what is this? What is that? A drink? Oh, a nice little...
Yeah, it is.
Yo, by the way, some nice snowboarding skills. It's not easy.
Also, pro's pro. Whatever drink he's drinking, he turned it to make sure the label was facing up. Oh, jeez.
That was tough. That actually looked like it hurt. Pro's pro. crashes.
Yeah, I spoke too soon.
By the way, also shout out to the guy who was filming. That's a job in its own right. He was in Miami a week or so ago. Here's the culmination of that. What is this, Mr. On Air Jordan? What do we got here? I can't really tell. Is that...
I edited this together, and I also had a tough time figuring it out. I don't know. It just looks like a plate of delicious foods.
Do you think
Toasty
it's...
Crousty.
Is it a dessert? What is a Crousty? Maybe Andy knows. I don't know.
Who's to check?
I'm guessing not a dessert because of the sauces in front of him, but I'm not super
sure. Yeah. You think it's like some sort of like Latino dish? I don't
recognize it. It just looks like chicken
They
from where I'm sitting.
They have 40 restaurants around the world, including in Canada.
It's like chopped up chicken tenders.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's a lot.
French fast food dish with rice and chicken tenders, but they look like they were all cut up there.
He told us about the giant burger that he was planning on eating. Well, here he is with said giant burger. I mean, it's a generational run rate. Look at that. By the way, why is the bun black?
They might have torched it with like a hand torch to like get it toasted.
But it's very black.
Yeah. Could be pumpernickel.
Look at all that meat.
There's a lot of meat.
How do you feel about the gloves?
You got to do it.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then you could just be an animal,
I guess.
Look at that. He's got it all over his hands. You don't want to stop and wipe that on that nice hoodie.
I feel like you get like the latex on it.
There's no, those are not latex gloves.
Oh, they're not? What are they?
Nitrile, like
Okay.
the alternative.
I think there's one more Armin video, right? Or am I wrong about that?
That is true. It looks like he got off the slopes and had a...
Okay, what does he have? What is that, a kebab? Look at this.
Looks like a giant piece of steak.
Oh, yeah. It's just, my eyesight is horrible. What a view, though. Golly. What's that, a little pasta?
With some lobster tail on top, maybe?
Ooh, looks fantastic. Look at that smoke.
When I grow up, I want to be Armin Sarukian.
I want to eat like this guy. He's got the Venom shirt there. Nice little Ooh, a little frite. Pomme frite. French. Oh, look at this shot right here. Oh, my dear, you know yourself. Look at that.
Oh, après ski.
A little après ski. I'm going to have a couple of those myself over in Livigno. Hopefully. Probably not. Because we're there to work. We're not there to mingle with the common folk.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not there on vacation.
Yeah, but the common folk, they
just
love you.
So we're clear, is Armin part of the common folk, or it's just everyone around him?
That's a good point. No, he's everyone around. Are you guys excited for the Winter Olympics, by the way? Are you guys big Olympic guys?
I know a guy who's going to be covering it.
No, but like, are you? There are people like my kids are learning about it now, and there's like the skeleton. You get into these sports that you wouldn't really get into. The curling, the bobsled.
I love the half pipe.
The half pipe
snowboard half pipe is always the best.
Is there any athlete cooler than the snowboard half piper? Like they're just so cool. They're usually like in their like
point,
early 20s.
Apollo Antonono,
yeah, he was pretty cool.
American speed skater, was like the coolest guy in the world.
Sean White, of course. By the way, we've had some incredible entrances lately in the world of MMA over this past weekend. Look at this dude over in Octagon, Brian Manning, who a lot of people are very excited about. He came out wearing this mask on a bike. Is this from a movie, Frank?
Yeah.
What is this?
This would be, this is Billy from Saw. The movie
Okay,
Saw.
thank you. I like how into it you are, Andy. Are you a big Saw fan?
Very big Saw fan. I was so excited to see this. I think it's so creepy and so fun.
It's to do this before a fight in which he won, by the way, is tremendous work on his part.
The other guy's probably terrified.
I was terrified. I didn't even know where it was from. I just thought it was pretty damn cool. Here's another gentleman coming down like he's Sting or The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels. Actually, he came out to The Undertaker music like he's Sting. This is from Utma, Lithuania. Look at that. That's aura right there. That is aura right there. Oh, yeah. They take off the robe. That's a good look. A lot of hair talk in the world of combat sports this past week. Here's a gentleman also on the Octagon card getting his beard trim. I was thinking of Frank when I saw this guy. Like, this is this is on the way to the cage, Frank. Quick little trim.
This is how it should be.
Can I tell you what I didn't like about all of this? It's like, you'll get those scragglers and now all of a sudden, like, your chest is all itchy and stuff.
They tie it down pretty well,
Yeah.
I like his bib of his own face.
It is a good look. Look at that. That's Ahmad, the lightweight gorilla Halimson. That's a good look right there. I love that. I say hair was a much talked about point in the world of combat. This past weekend, it went super viral when Big Baby Miller had his toupee knocked off. Everyone's talking about, look at this. Here it comes, slowly but surely. It looks like he's holding on to it there for a moment, and now it is officially off. This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. Look at this. And then he just chucks it into the crowd. Big Baby Miller, one of the great characters. Why do that? Looking like Julius Caesar out there. And there's Sky Nicholson, who gets the toupee and puts it on her own head, which is just nasty work. Look at
She
that.
wiped it off.
You know who he looks like? I just figured it out. He looks like Joe Pesci.
Oh, right.
In Home Alone 1.
Nice.
Yes?
Look what you did there.
When he gets the hair torch. Brad liked that one. He looks like Joe Pesci in Home Alone 1. It looks exactly like it. His head looks like it's on fire. Mauricio Sulaiman, who's going to join us at 3:05, he actually caught the toupee and went super viral. It's a crazy thing, that toupee. What do you think, Frank? Good look or no?
It's not a great look.
Oh, there it is. Dana White was at the Zuffa Boxing post-fight presser yesterday, and he was asked about what his highlight of this past weekend was, the UFC, and listen to what he said as far as what the highlight of the weekend was for him.
What was your thoughts on last night's actions and how Alexander Volkanovski retained his belt?
What were my thoughts on last night?
Yeah.
The thing that stood out was the toupee for me last night. One of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Are you talking about boxing or UFC?
UFC, the Volkanovski.
Yeah. The UFC card was awesome.
He was way more excited to talk about the toupee than the UFC card, which is just, I mean... Shakur Stevenson looked like... who do you look like? Willie Pep out there? Maybe it was... Roy Jones Jr., I'm not sure. Anyway, a lot of people talking about that. We're going to talk to Mauricio about that as well. Let me fix this thing. What is this thing here, Frank?
Who's to check?
No, a lot of people are to check. Our next guest, can you see it? You can't see it now, right?
No.
Our next guest had a phenomenal night at Madison Square Garden. He is the pride of Brownsville. He has fought at the theater before, but he's never fought at the big Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, the world's most famous arena. He was fighting for the vacant WBC featherweight title against Carlos Castro, and he won via knockout in the 9th round. A beautiful combination. Very emotional afterwards. It was an absolute great scene. We had him in studio back a few months ago, maybe it was July or so, and now here he is, champion of the WBC. He's the one and only Shu Shu. Bruce Carrington is here, kind enough to join us after the big one. There he is. My man, Shu Shu Carrington. Hello, sir. How are you? The champ is here. Good to see you, my man.
Same here.
Please have a seat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What's it like? You got the green belt.
Man, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling right now. I am just overwhelmed with so many different emotions at this point, and I feel like, this is exactly what I imagine it feeling like for this moment.
So it's one thing to win that kind of belt at T-Mobile or in some country.
Right.
You won it at Madison freaking Square Garden. And not the theater where you've competed before, the big house, right?
Yes,
the Mecca.
yes. First time.
And you were so emotional afterwards.
Yeah.
What did those emotions mean? Where did those come from? What were they all about?
Man, it was just about all of the, the doubters and all of the hard work that I put through. And, I had a heavy heart because I was thinking about my brother that passed, and everything that he was always, we were always talking about sharing the moment like that together. And the fact that, he wasn't there, and I'm just like, I was on the top of the rope, and I was just like, forever Ike, and the fact that he just wasn't there to just be able to share this moment with me, it really hurt. But at the same time, I know, he's looking at me, and I know he's happy because, I'm doing what we set out to do. It was just so much. It was so many different emotions, man. Seeing the people, the energy from everybody, they were all hyped up and seeing me go crazy. And with the knockout, just the fact that it ended that way.
Yeah.
It couldn't have ended any other way. I had some adversity in the fight too. Bro, it was a great night.
By the way, here's the knockout. Like, I mean, this is beautiful. Look at this combination. I mean, you hit him like, it reminded me of Conor McGregor against Eddie Alvarez in that same building. As he's falling down, you're still hitting him with shots.
True.
Look at this combo right here.
Yeah, man.
How many times have you watched it?
It's been ridiculous.
Show it to him one more time. One more time.
I'll watch it all day. I'll watch it all day.
What are you thinking when you see this? What are you thinking? What's coming to mind?
I'm just remembering what I thought in those moments. Like when I caught him with the right hand to start the combination off, I hit him. Boom! I knew he was out when his arm went limp
right there.
On the back of my neck.
Oh yes.
And then that's when I just finished the combination. I was already down to the body, so I started with the left of the body, right hand up top, hook, then right hand as he's falling down because I just wanted to just finish him. I just wanted to finish him. As he's down there, I'm in the corner. He's a guy that usually gets up and finishes the fight strong. But when he stayed down, I'm looking at him like, oh, you're going to stay down? Oh, yeah, it's over. Like, and then it just, all the emotions just came. And I freaking ran out the ring. I could have got disqualified, bro. I don't know why I did that. I just blacked out. And it was just like, I think everybody just understood, like, yeah, like, it's understandable I did something like that because it was so much at stake. There was my hometown and the knockout like that. It was just so much, man. So
I saw another Brooklyn boy, Spike Lee, showing you love in the front row there, right?
Mad love, bro.
Did you recognize him? Did you know him?
Of course.
Okay.
Now, me and Spike,
he was wearing cool ass glasses there in the front.
Yeah,
you saw that?
Man. Yeah, no, me and Spike, we've had conversations before. I've been to his office and stuff like that.
Oh,
we
really?
have a little relationship.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I had no idea who was going to show up, and when I got out of the ring and I looked right at him, I'm like, yeah. So I was going crazy, and he's pointing at me like, yeah, you did it. We talked after, and we took some pictures and everything like that.
Amazing.
He's like, yo, bro, you really did it for Brooklyn. Like, you really did it for us. Like, we're so proud of you. And, you know, getting something like that from Spike Lee is monumental for me.
Yeah.
Monumental.
Greatest moment of your career?
Yes.
Without a doubt, right?
Without a doubt, yes.
Nothing,
definitely.
I mean, like everything just seemed to come together for you. The
100%.
venue, the city, the way in which it ended, the belt on the line.
Yes.
Dream-like stuff. I feel like you're still probably like on cloud nine, right? Hard to process?
It's still like, it hit me, yeah, but it's like every day that goes by, it's hitting me more and more and more. So I feel like it's still more that I have to feel, and it's so many people that's calling me that told me that they cried from the fight, and it's an amazing feeling to know that so many people were connected with this experience with me. You know, they were along the ride.
Could you even go to sleep on Saturday?
No. I tried to go to sleep around like 6. I probably took a little nap and got back up like around 8:30. And then finished the whole day. I didn't like crash. Like, I just have so much adrenaline. Even now talking to you, like,
I feel it.
So much adrenaline from that night.
Immediately after it's over, you start thinking about your brother, like that?
Yeah.
Does that always happen after your fights, or because this one was so big?
I think it doesn't always happen after the fight. I think it's because it's so big. Like certain fights, I just kind of go through the motions, and I don't really think about them like immediately. I think about them every fight, but not immediately after the fight is over. That night, it was immediate, and it was just a lot of other things that played a part into, me being that emotional and everything like that. But the biggest part was the fact that he wasn't there.
What were the other things?
I trained my butt off so bad. Like, I think I trained myself so much to where if I feel like anybody else was to train a little harder than me, they'll be 6 feet deep in the ground. Like, that's how far. Like, I kind of like push myself to the max and more to continue to like just grow and be a stronger fighter and just make sure all the, like, just firing on all cylinders, for lack of better terms. I feel like it was that. So many people doubted me coming up. I really didn't have a lot of people believing in me that started their pro career. Even in the amateurs, like, I got a lot of people that was forgetting about me, and on top of that, I didn't really even get a chance to fight for the Olympics because COVID messed up my qualifications and everything like that. It was a lot of doors like slammed in my face. Growing up in Brownsville, dealing with like all the adversity from that, and just all the gunshot here and there, gang activities. It's so much that just came into my mind in that moment, to where it was just like an overwhelming emotional outburst.
When you talk about the training and, other people would be 6 feet under, is that always, or was that for this particular camp because it meant so much to you?
I always push myself. Don't get me wrong. I definitely always push myself. But this one, definitely, I pushed another level because it was so important. Yeah, it was like, we're going to make sure we're overly prepared, not overtrained, overly prepared to where, we know, there's no doubt in our minds that we're going to win this fight.
Do you ever worry, or do your coaches worry about overtraining, about pushing your body too far?
Of
That's
course.
a thing, right?
100%. So that's what we really prioritize recovery just as much as training. So in terms of overtraining, we don't overtrain.
Okay.
If I communicate with my team. I let them know my legs are done today. I need to be on my legs today. All right, we're gonna switch up training. My upper body, my shoulders, I don't feel it today. All right, we're gonna go back down to the legs. Oh, we're gonna do this ice bath, get a massage, do some acupuncture, little therapy, little electrotherapy. All these different type of things, cryotherapy. We invest so much into recovery so that we can be 100% by the time fight night comes.
I'm seeing all the jewelry on you, playing like a champ should. I saw your walkout gear.
Yeah.
The Yankees inspired walkout gear. Did you have Swarovski crystals in the pinstripes? Here's the video here. This video is incredible. The whole thing. This dude was
Very
breaking it all
detailed.
down. I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they captured the imagery of what I thought the outfit would be to the T. So
you tell them the vision?
Yeah. I
Okay.
told them the vision. I let them know the Yankee. They added the Swarovski crystals. I think it was 12,000 of them, and they had the gold outline. I had no idea they were gonna do a gold outline. That was a really, really nice touch. It really made it clean. And I had them get the hat on there and put Forever Ike on the side, and then they added the stones on the Yankee logo, and it was so tough. That's my favorite outfit to date.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. And I love the pullover. That's Tyson inspired, right?
I wear that every single fight.
Love it.
That's one thing I told him. Listen, bro, I wear this towel every single time I fight because I'm from Brownsville. Mike Tyson is one of the guys that I've looked up to since I started boxing, before I started boxing. And I always want to play homage to Mike. And I feel like a lot of boxers, they weren't were doing a towel thing. And even if they were, they just couldn't pull it off like Mike.
Right.
So I was like, nah, I gotta bring it back, and I gotta do it different than everybody else. I'm gonna have Mike, but I'm gonna have some style to it too. I'm gonna add Shu Shu in there, and we're gonna mix it up every single time I fight.
Could you feel the crystals on the?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You can.
Wow.
It was sweet. Yeah, that outfit was so sweet, bro. I wish I had it so you could.
I know. I want to. You can't lose wearing that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm gonna put that gym up in the frame as soon as I get home back in Vegas, man. That gym's gonna be Vegas. It's gonna be crazy. I love that outfit.
What was it like being at MSG? In the back, the locker room? Could you feel that it was a little different, that it was special, and what were the emotions for you? I'm sure you've been there before, right? Maybe seeing a Nick game or something like that. So, what was that like, just being there as one of the main dudes?
Yeah, it's a total different experience from being there as a spectator to actually being there backstage and all of that stuff. Total different experience, because when you're in it, the perspective of the garden looks like a total different building, but the emotions and everything like that, to be honest, I was so locked in.
Okay.
There weren't a lot of smiling. There wasn't a lot of smiling. There wasn't a lot of jokes and all of that back and forth. I was so tuned into my fight, and I just had such a certain level of seriousness that I didn't have in any other fight. I wasn't talking. I even the athletic commission, they're talking to me, and the referees, he's giving me instructions. I don't even think I was looking at the referee. I'm just there, just looking down. I'm listening to what he's saying, but at the same time, I'm just thinking about the fight. I'm like, yeah, all right, y'all done? You ready? All right, all right, it's time to go.
Wow.
That's kind of what it was for me.
Always like that?
Most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time, it is like that for me. But this fight was it's different, a certain level of seriousness for sure.
So you could see how much the moment meant to you, the belt means to you, to be champion, WBC champion. People talk about that green belt. And it comes at an interesting time because there's a new entity coming into the sport that's saying we're not going to recognize these belts.
Yeah.
And so can you explain why this belt means so much to you? Why do you feel that way about this belt, which is obviously a part of boxing history, but there's a bit of a wave right now about these belts are a thing of the past.
Well, yeah, I see that wave, and I at the end of the day, I want to leave a certain mark and a certain legacy, and for the masses that know about boxing as of right now, like the WBC, WBA, IBF, excuse me, and the WBO. I feel like, you know, that the masses, they know about those belts, and if you used to win a belt, like, oh, you're a champion. So it's like the notoriety is still there for you to win these belts, and the money changes and all that stuff financially. Everything changes when you win the belt. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's still a level of importance to have it. You know, like I don't want to completely, like, you know, shut it out to be like, oh, it's a new wave and the belts, things of the past and anything like that. No, like, these belts are still very important as well too, and it's obvious because you see me winning this belt, how everyone's reacting to it. It's still very important.
Do you think there'll come a time where it won't be as important?
I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how things play out. I genuinely don't know. They've been around for ever, you know, and I really don't know. That's really a question I really don't have an answer to.
I know you've been locked in on your thing, but have you watched any of the Zuffa boxing shows so far?
Yes,
They've done two. What do you think?
Yeah, they look pretty fun. They look pretty fun. I like the you know, the format that they have. It's like, it's concerned like boxing formats. Like when I watch certain fights, it's like kind of like gives like a little dry, and like the color grading is like, it's kind of lifeless and kind of like no, like I like the color grading. I like the format that they have and the fighters that they have. Like there's been some pretty good matchmaking so far. You know, obviously they're just starting out, but so far it's been pretty good matchmaking, and so it looks interesting, I will say, at best.
Worth noting, we were just talking about how great your gear was. You can't rock that on their show.
Yeah, I know. That's you know, there's always pros and cons to things. You know what I'm saying?
You can't have uniforms in boxing.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
And yeah,
look how cool that's, like, you guys, you stick out.
Yeah,
with
I like the individualism.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I really do like that.
Standing out.
Yes, 100%. Like I love that, you know, and it adds something to the sport.
It tells part of your story while 100%. You're watching. You're a New York guy, your brother, like it
100%.
You know what I mean?
There's a story with everything that I read. There's always a
people
story.
Emotionally attached to you and want to root for you. And if you look like everyone else, how are you going to stick out?
Exactly. You know, so like I said, there's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
And so, you know, maybe there's a silver lining there with, you know, Zuffa boxing, and to make things work, maybe they might change things up. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, that's their format, and that's where they want to go. That's the route that they've chosen, and I feel like there's still going to be a lot of people interested in that.
For sure. No, I don't doubt that. It's just a different way of looking at boxing. So where do you stand right now as far as your promotional entity? Because I have to say, it was kind of wild seeing you up there on the dais afterwards with Eddie Hearn. Like, oh, and he was speaking very glowingly of you. He was very complimentary of you.
Yeah.
But to me, you've always been a top rank guy, at least recently. So are you still a top rank guy?
I'm still a top rank guy.
Okay.
So I was just fighting on, you know, that platform, but I'm still a top rank guy. You know,
Top Rank's in a bit of a interesting spot right now with no TV deal.
They are. It definitely has been interesting, you know, but they still been, you know, making ways for me to be able to fight on certain platforms, and just be, because my thing is just to be able to just fight and have the masses see me and showcase my talent, you know, and just for me to have the opportunity to do so. So if they're able to open up the opportunity for me, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Just take it.
Being up there with Eddie, this was a Matchroom promoted card. I know it was Ring, but like Matchroom was running it. What did you think? How was your experience?
It was great. It was great. They handled a lot of things smoothly. You know, transportation and everything like that. Like everything was very smooth. Everything that I needed from Matchroom in terms of communication, it was there on the money.
Okay.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Are you getting worried about Top Rank?
Nah, I'm not worried about Top Rank. They're gonna figure it out.
Okay.
They're gonna figure it out. There's been a company that has gone through adversity before, and I mean, obviously not this long of a layoff, but you know, adversity nonetheless. Like I remember one of the main reasons why I signed with them was because of how they handled COVID. Like they were the ones pushing out fights week after week after week in the bubble, so consistently, way more than any other promotion company that was out at that time. And they were just really thinking fast on their feet, and their longevity, how long they've been around, and they've been adjusting with the times. Like, bro, like I feel like they're gonna figure it out. So I'm not really worried about it.
It was interesting because I felt like the 4 most interesting characters on this card were all Top Rank / ESPN products.
Yeah.
Teofimo Shakur, you, Keyshawn Davis, right? And so I was wondering how the Top Rank guys felt about that because, you know what I mean?
They're on cloud 9, bro.
They were good?
Just let you show, listen, this is what we produce. You know, we're not, because I think that Top Rank sometimes gets a little criticism about, you guys are just matching these people up with guys that they know that they're gonna beat. Like, no, we face some tough guys. We're just that good. Like that's the Top Rank knows talent. They know how to put their talent out there and market their fighters and stuff like that. They know what good talent is. And then when we go to these other platforms and fight these guys, their fighters and stuff like that, we wreck ship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So because that's how good we are, and that's the testament of, again, how Top Rank, how great they can view fighters, and they pick them. They know how to pick them.
What do you think of Shakur?
That was a shutout.
Yeah.
It was a complete shutout from round 1 on. You know, I feel like he's just a master at distance management. Whenever Tio would get, overwhelmed with the patience of Shakur, and then not being able to hit him mentally, you see kind of breaking down early on in the fight, and Shakur was just kind of having his way after a while. Man, I felt like Shakur, he just being surgical in there. He was just being surgical. He wasn't doing too much, but it was enough to where it was a dominating victory.
Were you expecting it to be that one-sided?
I figured that it would be if Tio fought the way he did. I figured if Tio was trying to force the action and, not really creating real setups and not real traps and whatnot, then it was gonna happen that way. But if Tio was to fight more on the back foot and counter a little more, kind of bait Shakur in, have more on the front foot and throw while Shakur's punching, those are the moments where you can take advantage. And those, I wouldn't say that Tio could have won the fight doing those things, because Shakur, he's very good at adjusting. But with that, it would have made the fight more interesting for sure.
I love that Shakur got this opportunity and that he fought like that and is getting the love that he is getting now, because I felt like for the longest time he was, not being appreciated, not getting the love, not being considered one of the best, and I feel like he is one of the best.
100%.
He proved that.
You can't deny the talent, man. You got to respect his game. I don't care what you say about him. You got to respect his game. It just is what it is. Every move that he makes, there's a purpose with a move that he makes, and I feel like at this moment, and he did this to a guy that's on a pound for pound list, and he wasn't what people like to say running. He was right there walking him down. Right there, right in front of his face, walking him down. You got to give him respect, bro.
What do you think of Tio's post-fight interview? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Apologizing for everything after everything he said. He apologized for slavery. That's how bad he felt.
Tio doesn't talk in circles. He talks in zigzags. He kind of just goes from one thing to another sometimes. But I don't know what was going on through Tio's mind in the moment. Sometimes he's a interesting individual.
Yes.
And I feel like his mentality is something that I can't really pinpoint, identify what type of guy he really is, because sometimes he says this and sometimes he kind of goes really off the ledge and says some wild stuff. So but I think it was a humbling experience for him, for sure, if anything.
I do think that there are certain things that you just don't say, can't say, and then you can't apologize. After you get your butt whooped, to say this, man, that stuff is hurtful. It's one thing to promote a fight.
Yeah,
it's another. Right. You know what I mean?
I would rather him apologize for those things before he fought.
Of course.
So now it's you're just saying that because you're humbled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Say that when you are feeling like you're the man and stuff like that. Apologize then, because that's when I know it's genuine.
Terrence was loving it.
Yeah.
He was giving it.
Oh my God, Bud is ridiculous, bro. He was kind of laughing in the dad face and all type of stuff. Man, Bud is hilarious, bro. But and he's unapologetic about it. Is anybody have anything to say about it? It is what it is. Feel how you feel.
Right.
But listen, I'm gonna stand on how I feel and then say what I said, and you gotta respect it.
I feel like there was, and here is Terrence. Look at Terrence loving this. He's going up to their team, up to his dad. Look at him.
Yo, Bud is a character, bro.
This is even before they announced the score.
Look at him, bro. He was.
There was a lot of drama. There was
a lot of drama. Yeah.
The Haney thing.
Yeah,
the weigh-ins.
That was wild.
Where were you during all that?
I literally just missed it.
Okay.
Like, just because I had to go to a fighter meeting, and I really didn't like what happened because I'm really good friends with Tiger Johnson.
Okay.
Very, very good friends with Tiger Johnson, and it was just very unfortunate how the whole thing went down. It's one thing to have like little boxing beef here and there, back and forth talk on the internet, but for it to get to as far as it did not have to go that far.
Do you know what sparked it?
Yeah. Like there was an interview that me, Tiger did on a Porterway podcast, and it's kind of sparked some controversy because I think Devin just felt like we were talking against him, but we weren't. Like actually, me and Tiger felt like we knew that he was going to be Brian Norman, but I think the clip that he probably saw, it was, I guess, I didn't think it was controversial because Sean Porter was basically saying that he felt like if Brian Norman had more experience, that it would have been a tougher fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was on the side agreeing, but what did I feel like Brian Norman would have won? I don't think so. Maybe not, but would have been a tougher fight? Yes, I think it would have been a tougher fight. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that. And he called us coons, Devin Haney.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he was just kind of like saying all different type of things. And I know it was a misunderstanding, but at the same time, I was like, listen, bro, before you say anything about my name and speak on my name, watch the whole interview. Congrats to you win. And I just left it at that.
You said that to him?
I said it on Twitter. I responded to it,
Okay.
And him and Tiger, they kind of got into it because they're in the same weight class, and Tiger just didn't like the disrespect, which is understandable. They got into a little DMs and whatever, and they were talking, smack to each other, but it wasn't to a point to where it was supposed to get like it did this weekend. And that's something that it was very distasteful, and I was really upset. I got to see Tiger after the whole ordeal, and his face was all messed up. And I'm glad that he's healthy enough to where he didn't have no real crazy damage. He still came to my fight.
Wow.
He saw me backstage in good spirits, so he's healthy, and I'm really happy about that. But it really messed me up before the fight, man. Like, it messed me up emotionally to where it was like I had to get myself together before even starting the fighting meeting, and just going the rest of my day, going into the fight. It bothered me a lot.
Yeah, no, I can understand. Who like started it in terms of like in that moment?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, man.
I saw Bill Haney like getting in there.
Yeah, I saw the videos of Bill getting in there. It seemed like Tiger was in argument with Devin's brother and stuff like that, and I just don't know how everything just started, but it was just ridiculous. I heard there was 2 separate fights that happened too. Like,
was it 2?
Yeah, it was 2 separate fights. There was the fight near where the stands were, where Devin Haney was on a broadcast and everything, and then the second fight happened near where the exit door, where you see Tiger getting stomped out and stuff. So there was a lot like going on, man, and I was just trying to make sure my loved ones and my family was protected. My fiance, making sure she's good, and my coach is super upset at it because we're all close with Tiger.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm saying? It was very upsetting.
Well, he's okay.
He's okay though.
Okay.
He's good. He's really good. Yeah.
Also, Keyshawn, great story, right?
Yeah.
For a guy who went through a lot and retired and didn't know if he was going to come back, to see him win like that was really nice as well. I feel like there were a lot of great stories on this card, like a lot of heartwarming stuff.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's the little things you love about boxing, you know, because we all have our own stories, and with Keyshawn especially, like you can tell, like he's been open about his struggle with his mental issues and everything like that, and for him to continue to just keep trying and just putting God first and praying and just finding some form of stability is beautiful to watch. And then watching him go to work and doing what he did, this last weekend, the way he won, it was beautiful to watch. He's a great fighter, but he's also a person that's like really striving to be a better, person, his better self every single day. And no one's perfect. If people are gonna have these, fights or these little controversy and these experiences and whatnot, but nobody's perfect, bro. Everybody makes mistakes, man. You got to give people grace, man. God gives us grace. We pray for God to give us grace for all the things that we do. We got to pass that down on to others as well, man, when they have life experiences.
To be on a card with some of these guys who have done big things, but you guys were all, top ranked guys as well. Like, was there a camaraderie throughout fight week where you guys?
Oh man, bro, we was all on the USA team together in the amateurs.
That's right.
Bro.
Of course.
Of course. Like with me, we were doing the post fight interview, And I think there was a point where Rick Reno, he was talking, and Keyshawn's sitting right next to me. He's like, bro, like, we really here, bro. And you a world champion now, Shu. You a star now, Shu. And I'm like, bro, you a star as well. He's like, this is the stuff we was talking about in the USA team.
You just gave me chills.
Like, yeah, like, this is crazy. Like, we're really here. And then I was like, then this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the beginning of the journey. So, yeah, it was 100%. This is a great moment that we was able to share.
Loved seeing some of the not the older guys, but like, Andre is there, Bud is there, Clarissa back there. Like, I mean, to see all this camaraderie among the American fighters, all you guys sort of coming up and you following along with them was great. It was very heartwarming. Probably the most heartwarming moment I would say was Big Baby's hair.
Yo, that was wild.
What is going on with this guy?
Yo, bro, I swear, hey man, listen. Before the toupee went up, I had no idea.
You had no idea? Look at it. Look at it right here. Look at it,
bro.
Look at this uppercut. The hair fly. Look at it. Now he's trying to stick it. Yeah,
he's trying to stick it
Poor
back.
guy.
The glue not staying on it. No. Yo, that was wild.
And then, fair play to him for just tossing it out there.
Yo, bro, like that was beautiful. That's how you gotta play into it. You know what I'm saying? You probably gotta make a little funny yourself. But Big Baby, he's always been a character like that, man. Like, I love that he was able to play into it and then continue with the fight. And that was very, very funny, and it was something that the crowd will never forget. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, I was in there getting my gloves put on. And I'm like, oh, is his hair coming up? What's going on? Oh my God. It was hilarious, bro.
It went viral. Everyone was talking about it. So good promotion for the card.
It really was.
And if he can lean into it now, maybe get like a hair deal. I don't know, go to Turkey or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, there's definitely some marketing that could happen.
What would you do in that situation?
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm going to Turkey.
You're going to Turkey?
Yeah.
You're not shaving it off?
Maybe it depends. Well, he does have a good beard to go with it.
Yeah.
So he could shave it off. Yeah.
I don't know why he had to do that.
He didn't have to. I think that he probably just didn't want to let it go, but it's time. I think he was forced to, like, yo, bro, it's time now. You got to shave it, man.
I've never seen it. I mean, obviously, none of us have ever seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
And I feel like every boxer from here on out will think twice. If
100%.
they do, you know what I mean? It makes you wonder about some guys in the past. Like, did they have hair pieces too?
Right, yeah.
It did look great.
It did look good.
Did you see the barber, like, had posted stuff and then deleted it?
No.
His barber was like, look, got to get my guy right for fight night and all that. And then people found the barber and it was like, this is fake.
What?
And so he deleted it off
No way.
Yeah.
Nah, I did not see that. That is funny. That is hilarious, bro. Hey, Big Baby, bro, get some tighter glue next time, bro. Just
I felt bad for him in the moment, actually, but then the way he was handling it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah. He handled it perfectly.
So Nick Ball, is that who we want?
Yeah.
He's fighting this weekend.
100%.
You gonna go?
I'm thinking about it.
You are?
Thinking about it.
Okay, that's in England, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to be there front row?
Yeah, I always do my pop-ups, man. I'm there for Inoue fights. I'm there for Espinoza fights. When Stephen Fulton, when he had the belt and he fought Figueroa, I was there for that fight. I do my pop-ups, you know what I'm saying? So definitely thinking about going to that one as well.
Okay. And why him in particular?
He has a belt.
Yeah.
He has a belt. We could easily unify, you know what I mean? All we got to do is just make it happen. I feel like that would be a great fight for the fans. His style, my style.
Great style.
Bro, like the UK and USA, you know what I mean? I feel like there's always been a certain type of rivalry, in the boxing when it comes to that. So that would be amazing, man. I feel like that would generate a lot of attention, a lot of money, a lot of, marketing and everything. That fight is big. I really would love to make that fight out.
Do you think he wins?
That's gonna be a tough one in terms of him and Figueroa.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough because Figueroa is no joke. I think stylistically it'll be a fire fight. Figueroa just has defensive lapses to where it's like he can lose certain rounds just because his head might be like going back, but because Nick Ball might be catching with certain shots. It's similar to what Fulton did when they fought. Like the first fight especially. I would use that one as an example because it was a closer fight. But Stephen Fulton, he won because he landed the more effective shots. Like it's the eye-catching shots. The judges could easily score with those shots. So if Nick Ball, if he can fight like that, similar to it, then I think he's gonna win.
Would you be okay with fighting him over there?
It has to make sense.
Okay.
Business-wise, in terms of the money, and I don't want to give too much leverage away because obviously I'll be fighting in his hometown and whatnot. So, But if it makes enough sense for me to do that, then I'll definitely go and, take the crown from him in his hometown.
Would you prefer it to be here?
I would definitely prefer it to be here. I feel like, the UK crowd, like, they love boxing and they travel. Like, I remember I'm thinking about Ricky Hatton and him having all those people plus a marching band, and they were going crazy. There's only one Ricky Hatton. Like, yeah, they was going wild, you know? So, I think he can generate that same type of atmosphere because he's a small guy, and I like the whole dynamic of the small guy fighting a taller guy. It gives off the Tank Davis effect, the Mike Tyson effect, so where a lot of people love watching a guy like him. So him coming in the U.S., it will be great, especially fighting in New York. It will be mega.
By the way, you're 28, right?
Yes.
Featherweight, how is it for you? Like, do you think eventually you'll be moving up, and if so, like, where do you think you end up? Where's your last stop?
Yeah, eventually I see myself moving up. I still have a lot of work to do and a lot of business at 126 right now.
Yeah, but so you're not thinking about that. This isn't just a pit stop or anything like that.
No, not at all. No. I'm shooting to be the first undisputed featherweight world champion in the full belt era.
Okay.
Even unified champ. Like this featherweight division has been unified since Chris John had the WBA and the IBO.
Wow.
And that's like early 2000s, no, late 2000s. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like at this moment, this division is the hottest it's been in forever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about that time to start mixing that melting pot. But I think I can see myself going as high as 47.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see myself going as high as 47, yeah, for sure. Maybe even 54 for a big fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. That's almost 30 pounds
Skills
from where you're
pay
at
the
right now.
bills.
That's right.
Skills pay the bills.
Who's the dream fight? Like, who's the final boss for you?
As of right now,
yeah,
because I can't see a final boss like when I get to the bigger
too
weight
far.
class.
Okay,
I think that's too far out.
Yeah,
we got to see how everything
in the
out.
sort of like 2-3 years period from here. Who would you say?
Naoya Inoue.
Yeah, that's the one. Huh?
Yeah, I feel like he's the guy.
What a freaking fight that would be.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be.
You think he beats Nakatani?
Yes. Now I think he beats Nakatani. Like before, it's like I think he would beat Nakatani, but I feel like Dill's been like, I don't know. Now I see.
Was it because of Nakatani's last performance?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. It's the little things, man. It's the inside fighting. He's very uncomfortable with the inside fighting, and I also think that the weight, he's too small for it.
Okay.
I think he's too small for it. In a way, I think he fits much better at 122. Nakatani, I don't think he's big enough for 122. He has the height for it, yeah. Decent power, but that guy that he fought was walking through his punches and being just able to just land a lot of big shots, like too many, to where the defense was showing like he needs to tighten up. And if he's not going to tighten up against a guy like that, in a way, he's surgical. He got to really work on his defense. Who knows though? What went on in camp? Who knows? It was just probably one of those fights for him to where it was like, he just didn't feel 100%. When you fight a guy like Inoue, you kind of wake up differently. You kind of work differently to where you're 100% prepared. So maybe that was just a fight for Nakatani to where we just, got to see, one of his, not his best nights. But I do think that when it comes to the fundamentals, there's some big holes in his game to where Inoue can definitely take advantage.
How far away do you think you are from this, like, maybe being a thing?
I would say maybe a year.
Yeah.
Maybe just a year away. Yeah, it's
the
right
dream
there.
to try to like get more belts so that entices him to come after you? Okay.
100%. Yeah, because I know when he comes up, he's going to want to go for the belts and, become, he's going to want to shoot to be 3-time undisputed and whatnot. But this is not going to be one of those situations, man. He's definitely going to he's going to get a wake-up call fighting a guy like me.
I just asked you about fighting in the UK. What about fighting him in Japan?
It got to make sense.
Okay.
100%. Again, I don't want to give up too much of my leverage, but again, it has to make sense. The money has to be right. I don't want to be, treated a certain way, and everything has to be, fair. It has to be fair.
You've been to his fights before.
I've been to one fight of his.
In Japan?
No. I've been to when he fought in
Vegas last May
with Cardenas.
Okay.
I was there. For
I would love to see one of his fights live. like that fight. Japan
That was
versus
cool.
Japan.
That was a cool fight with him and Cardenas, man.
But that was in Vegas.
It was in Vegas. so
I'd
the
love to see him in
atmosphere-
Japan.
Yeah.
Just the way that I've seen an MMA card in Japan, and like they just kind of treat. It's not so loud. They kind of. It's like they're watching like a play. Like everyone's very quiet and respectful. And to see two Japanese greats fight each other, or him fight someone like you over there, I know you say it has to make sense. There's just something about those crowds that I find very, very interesting.
Yeah. I watch those fights, on TV all the time, and like I've noticed how the crowd is.
Yes.
But the people of Japan, they are different. Like they are known to be respectful people, and so them going crazy in fights like that's like you're not gonna see that like too much. So, but it's very interesting. I've never been to Japan. I would love to go to Japan.
Oh, wow, yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
a dream trip of mine. Outside of boxing, like I love anime. Like I love the Japanese fashion. I love anime, and I just like the culture. I love their food and everything. So those are the main reasons like I really want to go. And then guy like Inoue is kind of helped me get there sooner as well too, with a fight. So yeah, I plan on going to Japan at some point.
Seeing what happened in the Cardenas fight, did that make you think like, oh, there are holes here?
I've been seeing holes before he's been knocked down. I've been calling Inoue out since like 2023 when he's looked like Mr. Invincible. Before he fought Luis Neri and everything like that. I've seen holes in his game back then. So then when Luis Neri dropped him, I was like, told you so. When I seen Cardenas dropped him, I was like, told you so. Because in certain interviews, I would say, Inoue does this. And those are the things that happened when he got knocked down, But the man is a champion, though, bro, because he would get up and still finish these guys. Like, his mentality is always, like, seek and destroy. So he's always dangerous. And that's something that really intrigues me as to want to fight him even more, because it's like I have that same mentality as well, too. And I want to fight him to be like, look, let's test ourselves, man. Let's see who's really the man. Let's see who's really the cream of the crop.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Well, for now, not next. Something crazy might happen, but you enjoyed this belt.
Yes.
The Nick Ball fight would be tremendous.
Yes,
I would
it
love
would.
to see that. I was really happy for you, man, to see the knockout. I watched it like 10 times in the moment. Once the tweets came out, I was like, this is so freaking clean. I mean,
It's overwhelming. Every single platform, social media platform, like I'm just seeing me. The
it was beautiful. That's highlight reel, like the kind of stuff you're showing your grandkids about.
Yes,
like, look at this.
yes.
Look what I did at MSG
Yeah.
back in 2026. And then the emotion afterwards and Spike there. And you're like, you checked off all the boxes from the walkout, MOP to the gear, everything, man. Like you did it all. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So happy for you. Well done. We actually have Mauricio Sulaiman here.
Yeah.
You know he's actually here?
Yeah, I
Did
saw
you see him?
I
Oh, you
saw him
see
walking in. Yeah.
How crazy is that? You win the WBC belt, and there he is, the man himself, the president of the WBC.
The man himself.
I didn't plan it, by the way, but isn't this beautiful?
What a moment Saturday night.
Amazing.
My God, it was just the emotion, him and his team and his father with a rose on his lap. That was so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So proud of you.
I appreciate
so
you
proud of you.
just giving me the opportunity and just believing in me and giving me the opportunity for this to happen. Like, this is just amazing, and I would have not wanted this any other way.
He was incredible.
Incredible.
Let me say hello.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How
Thank
are
you
you?
so much. It's great to have you here.
It's a great honor.
Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
thank you so much. All the best. Congratulations.
God bless. Take
I'll see
care.
you soon.
Yes.
We have something pending.
Thank you.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you, Shu Shu. Congrats, my man. There he is, the great Shu Shu Carrington. And here he is, the great Mauricio Sulaiman. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I've been following you.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate all that you do for boxing.
Thank you.
It's a strong voice, and it's a great honor for me to be here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know you're a very busy man. I've wanted to talk to you and have you on for quite some time, and I figured no better time than now.
Yes.
Because this is a very interesting time for the sport, for the WBC, for everyone involved in the sport.
It is challenging times, interesting times, but it's good to see boxing is all over. Talking all over, not necessarily for the right reasons all the time, but we're going through a great time in the sport.
I want to ask you about those times, but I also want to congratulate you on going viral this past weekend. You know, your tweet went crazy viral with Big Baby's hair. Yeah, I saw you had like something like 50, what is it? Look at that, 77,000 likes on this tweet, Mauricio.
Unbelievable. I could not believe it.
What? Tell me your perspective here. What is going on? You're sitting in the front row.
I'm sitting there.
Yes.
The round is over.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting there, and then I start listening to the crowd reaction. Wow, 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 wow. And then I look at the screen and I see the thing with the. I didn't see it live that it was happening.
Okay.
So then I realized he had taken off, and I said, I wonder where the hairpiece is. So I just stood up and walked around and found it. And I said, well, we need to get this back to him.
Yes.
He needs to put it back somehow. So I just took the pictures and I said, I found it.
Unbelievable. Have you ever seen that in all your years?
Never in my life.
Yeah.
I saw Franchon Cruz.
Yes, I remember.
She had,
yeah.
but it was a different.
Sure. I remember Paulie Malignaggi also got a haircut in between rounds one time, but
the
dreadlocks, or whatever it was, but never. He played it well though, right? He was laughing afterwards. That's what you have to do.
Sensational.
Yes.
I mean, could have been embarrassing.
Sure.
Hair is sensitive. Like you can tell.
Of course.
There's people that simply worry too much and they wear a hairpiece. There's people that don't care. And I don't know if he had it, that his reaction was sensational. Took it off and just smiled.
Laughed about it. What did you think of the night overall? Madison Square Garden, Shakur. Was it a good night for boxing?
Good night for boxing. To have a sellout in the Mecca of boxing, the Madison Square Garden, so much history, to see boxing back. I loved our fight. Shu Shu and Castro, they fought. Shu Shu was really hurt on the third or fourth round. I don't know if you realize that. He was hit in the top of the head and he was really dizzy. Castro is a very strong kid and the ending was explosive. The celebration was incredible.
Right.
This is what really brings boxing to what it is all about, the emotions and moments like that. I think Shakur is a man on his own. Great champion, great quality, moving up in weight, 4 weight categories now. He's a special fighter.
So when you sat down, this is what I'm really excited to obviously talk to you about because we've been following this story for a long time. You said it was challenging times for the sport. Why do you use that word? Why is it challenging in your opinion?
Because we're going through a great moment with great unification fights, so many undisputed champions, all these fights that fans wanted to see for a long time that did not happen. Now, with the influence of Turkey Al-Sheikh, the Saudi Arabia Riyadh season started only October 23.
Right.
You look back, it's only 2 years from now. And today's scenario is much different. Now, Tyson Fury lost to Usyk. Usyk became undisputed. Bivol defeated Berteryev. Crawford defeated Canelo. So the overall major scope is different. Fighters who fight in the Riyadh season are challenged to see if they can fight outside of Riyadh season for much less money. Some of them get comfortable and they're willing to fight maybe only once a year or wait for a big money. Those who are not longer into their plans are left without knowing where to go or how to go. In overall, I think it has been very good for boxing. There's great fights, great opportunity. Promoters are sitting down and negotiating and understanding that the fights need to be given to the fans. And the other thing is the SUFA TKO thing that has came in with some actions that are highly difficult to understand. When they first announced, I'm sorry I talk too much.
I like it. Please. This is your time.
When they announced last year that there was going to be a partnership, the WBC immediately came out and said, "Welcome to boxing. We hope it is good for the sport. Anything that comes into boxing, we welcome and support." And they have been changing, too aggressive, too how do you say?
Well, I've heard you say like bullying.
Bullying.
You've used that term.
Yes, I was mistreated so bad in Las Vegas.
For Canelo Crawford.
For Canelo Crawford.
Tell me how.
Me and the other three organizations, WBO, WBA, IBF, we were not even given a credential. We were told we could not get into the ring. We were not allowed to go into the dressing room. We were not allowed to be at the commission desk. When we go to a fight, we go to work. It is not a vacation or a fun or like a fan or a reporter that goes to a fight. We are there to work. They are fighting for our championships. The fight was undisputed for the 4 belts. And it was very, very, very disappointing.
Were you given a reason
Never.
as to? So how did
Never,
it go?
never.
Like, hey, I want to do what we usually do, and you were told not happening?
Not happening. No, we were given a ticket to go into the fight outside of the technical zone.
Just with the regular public?
Just with the regular public. Anyway, turn the page. They announce their plans and they want to change the law or introduce a new law that goes against the Muhammad Ali Act, which was a long process that Muhammad himself, with Senator McCain, Senator Reid, and others, took a long time to develop and went through the Senate and was approved, mostly to protect fighters in the United States, to have representation with their managers, to demand from the promoters full transparency and disclosure, to protect and have a wall between promoters and boxing commissions, promoters and managers, promoters and organizations, for the protection of the fighter and to reduce any possibility of any wrongdoing. The WBC has to disclose any sanction fees that are charged, any movements in the rankings. When we change a fighter, every year we submit a report to the ABC. And mostly it has brought the opportunity for fighters to make the most money they can make. They have the opportunity to choose between promoters and managers in a free market. So everything that is trying to be introduced, because MMA is not, it does not have to abide by the Muhammad Ali Act. That's why the UFC controls television, sponsorship. He's the manager, the promoter, rankings, titles, everything is one universe, like the NFL, like the Major League Baseball, NBA, and the multi-billion industry walked in and had the UFC become such a huge company. On boxing, you have promoters. The organizations have nothing to do with the business side, only the promoters. And there's all these limitations that today's world brings. Around 80% of the revenue goes to the fighters and 20% to the promoters, which is very, very different from MMA.
So when you see them coming in and you see and hear Dana White in particular say, we're not going to recognize the belts, we're not going to have them contested, we're not going to shine a light on them on our card, how does this make you feel?
Unnecessary roughness, like in the NFL. There's no need to say that. If they want to do their own, if they want to do their league, if the law passes, God bless them, and hopefully it'll be good for the fighters. But there's no need to be so arrogant and so aggressive and say, I am the man and I am the one. It's a completely different world, boxing and the UFC. Here's about the boxers. The only reason for existence of the WBC is the fighters, before, during, and after the years of glory. And in the other side is not. It's them. It's the money. So I do not like the arrogant way, the bullying way, the aggressive way. There's no need. You know, they have a great power, multi-billions. They have their own network, so they can say their message, which is one way. A scripted, one-way message. When they are challenged on a live press conference, you can see when they're asked something that is not scripted, they start bubbling and they don't know because it's a completely different scenario. When I'm here, you and I never spoken ever. And you can ask me whatever you like. I will never duck a question. I will respond whatever. And it's a different. I mean, I've seen on September card, they put the boxing media in the roof. The UFC media right there on the floor. So, very different world.
Do you feel like they are a threat to the WBC? If they get what they want and they become, right now in America, Top Rank doesn't have a TV deal. Golden Boy doesn't have a TV deal. There aren't a lot of American promoters right now who are successful. If they become the global brand that they want to become, they're in business with Turkey, who is so powerful and has so many funds at his disposal. Are you afraid that that will become the norm and that will be a massive threat to your WBC?
Absolutely not.
You're not worried about this?
No.
How come?
Boxing is a global sport. We have 176 countries affiliated. There are so many promoters all over the world. Boxing is a sport of the Shu Shu, who came from the street, who came from dreaming when he was a kid to win a gold medal for his country or become WBC champion or WBO, IBF, WBA. And to get to that level, it takes a long time. It takes the local boxing gym. It takes the local promotions. It takes a top rank to find them and to build him. It takes the WBC to nurture him with the Continental America's title, with the structure moving up. So without Inoue from Japan, Usyk from Ukraine, Tyson Fury from the UK, Canelo from Mexico, Mbili from Canada, boxing, Manny Pacquiao from Philippines. Boxing is a worldwide sport that continues and continues and continues. If a fighter, a promoter, a league, a person thinks they are above boxing, they're completely wrong. Boxing will always exist. As long as there's poverty and need for a sport like ours, there's going to be boxing. So I'm not worried whatsoever. We have a great platform, so many people that depend on the different programs that we have. I'm just happy, and I just want the best for the sport.
What I think is interesting about your position is that there's obviously someone in your position, WBO, IBF, WBA, etc., but you're the most notable one, in my opinion. Everyone knows Mauricio Sulaiman, right? And so I wonder, and obviously WBC to many is the most prestigious. Everyone talks about that green belt. Do you feel like it is your responsibility to speak up on behalf of the other sanctioning bodies, on behalf of the sport? Because I've seen you do a lot of media recently and speak out and issue press releases and whatnot, because perhaps the others don't want to, can't, don't have the platform and the voice that you have.
Well, I believe I tried to stay quiet for quite some time, but then we had to do something. I believe that WBC, and I say it with humility and humble, is the voice of the sport of boxing. I believe we represent what promoters, managers, trainers, fighters, media, even fans have say. We are a center of attention and communication. We get everything like a funnel. And I believe there is great concern at this time. We did an open letter, and the title is Everything is going to be okay. Don't worry. If you're a promoter, small, medium, or big, just do better job. If you're a trainer, if you're a boxer, if you're a beginner in media, just continue working, continue doing it. Do it better. Work harder. And there's nothing bigger than boxing.
I want to ask you and actually show you a clip from Nick Khan. Nick Khan, who's a powerful figure in TKO, and obviously Zuffa Boxing is his baby in many respects. He was doing some media recently, and he spoke about you. I want to play you the clip and get your response, okay? Sure. Here it is. Here's Nick Khan on the Pat McAfee Show.
The Muhammad Ali Enhancement Act, what we're looking to do, everything that the act already has will stay the same. If you're a fighter and you want to do it the old way, with the World Boxing Confederation. And by the way, the gentleman who runs that organization, this is supposed to be a nonprofit organization, going into Canelo Crawford, said he couldn't stay in a regular hotel room. He needed a suite. He wanted to make sure that his tickets were front row. He wanted to make sure there were ample number of tickets. It all seems quite odd to me that a sport would be run that way, or quite odd to us. So in the Enhancement Act, all of that, if you're a fighter and you want to continue with it, nothing changes. This is presenting a different option, where if you want to come into a unified boxing organization like Zuffa or anyone else who wants to create a unified boxing organization, come here, fight with us.
What do you think of that?
Itself, he doesn't even know the name of the WBC. World Boxing Confederation, he said.
You believe that?
Huh?
You believe he doesn't know?
Maybe he did it to say...
I think he's a very smart guy, Nick. He knows his boxing. I don't know if you know, he's been around with Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao.
I know him from a long time. He was with Lennox Lewis.
Yes. So I didn't know if you thought that, or maybe you thought maybe he was, trying to do a dig.
I don't know.
And more importantly,
no, but
stuff about the tickets and all that.
What he says, it's so low class. I am the president of the WBC. The WBC rules state that the president gets a suite when he goes to a fight, to supervise a fight. Why a suite? It's not to be pretentious or that I have my wife and my family and my friends. We have meetings with people from around the world. We have a lot of material. I'll be happy. Maybe you have seen, when I go to fights, I show, because we bring a lot of activations, souvenirs, and things that we go to give to gymnasiums. We have staff. When I go to a fight, I have 15 to 20 meetings with people. So I don't need tickets. I need my credential to work as a supervisor. The rules state that the WBC is entitled to a certain amount of tickets. Those tickets are for some executives or for some fans or for some gymnasiums that we give away. Every fight we have giveaway tickets. So to try to portray that into me being arrogant or being demanding, it's such a low-class action. But I am not into the popularity contest. I always take, tax. But how low can you go to use that as a ammunition instead of talking about boxing things? And the realities are very different from the UBO, that will have all the protection from the law so that they can do everything. Like they claim there's no sanction fees in Zuffa. Of course there's no sanction fees because they take all the money. It's ridiculous. It's something that is very elemental. If you compare one to the other, it's not apples to apples.
Did you speak to him when you were at that event, Nick Khan?
Yes. Dr. Rakan introduced me to him. I met him before, but he introduced me to him. We spoke. Everything was nice. And he said, I'm sorry for the misunderstandings, because they said I could not go into the ring. So I said, okay, just have 2 or 3 security guards to throw me out of the ring, because I am going into the ring. It's the WBC belt, and I'm going to have to go in and present and do my job. If you don't want me in, just have people take me out.
And what did he say when you said that?
No, I didn't say that to him.
Okay.
I said it in a program like this, and it came out.
And in the end, you were in the ring?
I was in the ring, yes. With all the other presidents of the organizations.
What about Dana White? Did you speak to him at the event or recently?
No. I met Dana a long time ago with Todd Duboff and Fernando Beltran. We went to his office when they were starting the UFC. He worked with Fertitta Lorenzo. He was a boxing commissioner. We had a very nice meeting. I saw him a couple of times after that. I saw him when Mayweather and the UFC guy,
Conor
McGregor.
Yes.
I saw him briefly. He was then a friend of us, Sina, mutual friend, gave me his phone. I have texted with him a few times, cordial, friendly, but it's been a long time since we spoke.
Speaking of that Terrence Crawford fight, obviously there was a lot of hoopla in December when he pretty much vacated the title and you took it back, right?
Yes.
He's no longer WBC champion. Can you tell me your side of the story? I've seen him talk about it. I saw when he went on Instagram and he spoke about it and said a lot of things about you. I'm sure you've seen this as well.
I did not want to see it.
You didn't want to see it?
No, I saw the beginning when...
Yeah, he was in his car.
And there was some captions and things that he said. A lot of F.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did not feel I wanted to see that. I read a few things because we were just coming off a great convention in Thailand.
Yes.
We had unbelievable, great moments, everything positive, our working plan for the next year. So you have 1,000 good messages and then one negative. I'm not going to read that.
Okay, fair enough. But that's from a big voice, right?
Yeah. No, but I see people told me what it was all about.
Yeah.
So I said, no problem.
So what's your side of the story?
Okay, the side of the story is very simple. First, I'm very sorry. Always it has to go to economics. Money. They blame it on the money, but it's not about the money. Terrence is a sensational fighter, a fighter of an era. I wish him the best. Now that he has retired, he has my full appreciation and friendship and best wishes for his life outside of the ring. But he was WBC champion in the welterweight division. He asked to fight a final elimination against Madrimov in the super welterweight and keep the welterweight. When you fight under those conditions, there are rules because it's a WBC special event. Within the rules includes the payment of sanction fees. We can talk about sanction fees when I finish, if you like.
Please.
That happened. My mom died on that weekend.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. So that matter of that event carried on for some time. Last year, they announced fighting Canelo. Absolutely. WBC will sanction, and there are rules. The fighters have to pay sanction fees. When this is such a huge event with a lot of money, we made a cap. It was not the 3% that the rule says, but we put a cap for that amount. And
was the cap 300?
300,000.
Okay.
Out of 50 million, it's much more, not even 1%.
Right.
And he won. He knew about it. Him and his team and everybody knew that even we had a cap. And he fought. Nothing was said. And then he didn't pay the sanction fees. He decided to do so. So it is not necessary. It is unnecessary to go in through that process and blame the money because he has nothing to do with the money.
Has he always paid the fees in the past?
Well, he paid the fees. He was our super lightweight champion, welterweight champion. He fought Spence, and there had never been.
There was no issue. And just so I know, is there a deadline? Like, let's say he fights September 13th. Does he have to pay by 60 days, 90 days? How does that usually work?
They should pay. The promoters should pay before the fight. But as I said, it is not. We are not like a collecting agency. So most of the times, the promoters they pay next week after the fight.
Okay.
They close their dealings. In Japan, in England, many countries they pay even at the weigh-in. They make the payment.
Okay.
Some on Monday, but it is just a difference. There's in good faith.
Sure.
If we were in bad faith, we would simply collect before. If not, there's no fight.
And in that process, did you ever speak to him and get an explanation as to why he didn't want to pay that amount?
No.
So how does it work to the point to where it like explodes in front of everyone and he's no longer WBC champion? How do we get to that point?
Well, the fight was in September.
Yes.
We sent several letters through his representatives, and they knew that they had to address the matter, the situation. And when we got to the convention, it was clear that they decided not to honor what they signed for.
The WBC fee was more than the IBF, WBO, WBA, right?
I don't know.
That's what he claimed. And I think what you said in an interview was that around like 240 or so thousand would go to the Jose Sulaiman fund, right?
On that specific fight, the Jose Sulaiman fund was established in 2012.
In honor of your late father.
Yeah, he created it.
Yes.
With great joy. We did a joint collaboration with Hublot, the watches. And it was a beautiful dinner, 2012. 12 watches of the great champions. Those were auctioned. The seed money for the Jose Sulaiman fund was $1 million. And it is administered by the Nevada Community Foundation. They receive the money. Nobody can touch it. And there's a process. When you have a need, you make an application. It is received at the Nevada Community Foundation. There's a committee that approves the grants, and then the money is dispersed.
Okay.
We had that. We had another event in 2019, also with Hublot. It raised 1.2 million. And now it's urgent to raise more money so it doesn't dry out. We have given away $2.5 million, a little bit more, grants around all over the world, fighters. You don't need to be a WBC champion or a champion. Anyone from a boxer need funeral expenses, medicine, housing, many different areas. The money is given to that. So we took Canelo's around 75% of his fees to send to the fund, and we were going to send the 75% from Crawford to the fund. Can we talk about fees?
Sure. Can I just ask you?
Sure.
So was it about, maybe it was like 220 to the fund and 80 would go to the WBC?
Something like that, yes.
And so to someone out there being like, well, why does because he brought this up too, why does the WBC charge more? Why are they charging Terrence more than everyone else? What is your response to that?
Each organization is independent, autonomous, and we all do whatever we do. What we do is completely proven with facts. And that's why I wanted to talk about sanction fees.
Okay.
The WBC, everything that comes into the WBC goes back to boxing, one way or another. We have offices. You need to pay the rent. You need to pay the services, communications, water, blah, blah, blah. We have 50 employees in Mexico City. We have offices, remote offices in several cities and countries. We have many committees that are working committees. Most of the WBC members around the world do not make a penny for themselves. They work for WBC and for boxers. We have the WBC Cares, which is an unbelievable program that we go out in 28 chapters, 28 countries, and do many social responsibility activations. We have the ratings committee, the ring officials committee, the medical committee. We fund research. We fund studies. And I mean, there's so many things that we do around the world, but in reality, the money is for boxing, is for the boxers. And it is, that's why I feel bad when things turn into the money, because it is not correct. It is not fair. And the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund is the greatest thing that we have, because we have helped and we will continue to help on an amazing amount of persons that otherwise would be having a lot of problems.
There was a theory when this was happening that TKO was behind it, that they were telling him not to do it in their effort to try to maybe diminish the WBC. And, this was in the midst of all of this. Do you believe that theory? Do you think that they convinced him to do this or that they were behind it? They were the influence?
I don't know. I don't think so. And in reality, it doesn't matter. We don't have a voice. I thank you so much for giving me today a voice representing the WBC. We don't have networks. We don't have a program that goes out with a whole infrastructure that we can get the word out. Whatever we publish in our networks, whoever wants to pick it up and publish it is good. Otherwise, it is only within our small world. And as I said, there's multi-billions against a non-profit organization, but we're stronger.
And that's why I ask you, do you feel like this is a great threat? It's multi-billions versus non-profit. Usually multi-billions wins.
But not in the boxing world, because we're not for the money. If we were for the money, then I would be worried and, oh my God, what's going to happen?
But how do you earn a living if it's not for the money?
Tomorrow, the WBC champion will be better. If one fighter goes for whatever reason, tomorrow we will have a better champion. It's the history of the WBC. We are the Muhammad Ali, the Mike Tyson, Leonard Hagler, Hearns, Chavez, Duran, Mayweather, Canelo, Triple G, Crawford. There's a time when the fighter gets to a point that he doesn't need anyone. He doesn't need nothing because anybody will be able to promote him, to manage him. They claim they don't need belts anymore, and that happens. But look at Mayweather. If you look at his history, Oscar de la Hoya, Canelo, Triple G, Pacquiao, it's a system that works, and because there's so much history behind a championship belt, it is nothing that you can recreate. It has soul behind. It has energy. It has power. I don't know, you saw Shu Shu. That moment inside the ring, that is what the WBC is all about. I known him for several years. When him and I embraced, and he was crying, and his father was crying, and it just represents so much because we were for him 4 or 5 years ago. It's easy to be with a champion when now he's a champion. But I'm with kids that are 13 years old here and in Japan and everywhere in the world. And we answer every single email, every call, every message. It's a hard working all over the place, but it is worth it because of the fighters. They are the greatest human beings that represent the best from the humble,
I agree with that. Could I ask, how do you earn a living if it's a nonprofit and it's all going back to the fighters? Obviously, you have to live as well. Could you tell us?
We have a company since 1963. My father was a businessman. We moved to Mexico City from the province. And we have construction businesses. We have security businesses. We have a pharma business also as well.
Okay, so this is all outside of WBC.
Yes, that's my family.
Okay.
We have absolute finances for the family.
Yes, of course.
Not from boxing.
Okay, so from WBC you don't earn?
No, it's not it is not for a living. It's a non-for-profit.
Wow. Is there ever a point where you're like, this is a lot of stress for a nonprofit, Maybe I go back to the family business and not deal with all of this?
Well, since I was a little boy, all I can remember is boxing. I would go to school, come back, and there would be Muhammad Ali, Don King, having lunch in our living room or having a meeting. Tyson, Sugar Ray, or a young amateur fighter or a trainer. My father, since he had to travel so much, he had this passion for boxing that it's hard to understand when you did not live it. He was in the era that there was not even fax. No fax, no cell phone, no social media, no internet. So everything had to be long trips, 2-3 months, would come back for a week or two and then go back again. So whenever he was in Mexico, he would take all the time, try to be at home. So our house was the home of boxing. Everybody would come in. My mom would cook for 20, 30 persons every single day, since I was a kid until my dad passed away. So we have been around boxing. When my father died, I thought my job in boxing was finished because he passed away, and we never had any expectations that I would be the president of the WBC. I was with him to help him out, to be with him. I started just making notes and some messages, phone calls, and this and that. And then I became more of an executive matters when he started getting old. But at the end, it was not the plan. When my father died, he died in Los Angeles. We were very fortunate to bring him home that night. And we had to extend. In Mexico, when you die, you have the service next day, the viewing, and then the second day is the funeral or the cremation. We had to extend 3 days because people were coming from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from all over the place. We have thousands of people in the funeral home. They have like 20 off chambers where 20 different people can be viewed. We closed the whole thing. It was only for Jose Sulaiman.
Wow.
Thousands of people. So my mom, in one of those moments, she said, "Are you going to abandon and look what this was for your father?" My wife said the same. So then I thought, well, I can continue being like the general secretary as I was, or run committees, whatever. 3 weeks later, the WBC had to do the voting for a president, and I was elected.
Wow.
And I've been 12 years president of the WBC.
Have you watched Zuffa Boxing yet? They've had 2 shows. Have you watched any of them?
No, I saw just some pictures that.
What do you think of it so far? The presentation. They're wearing uniforms, things like that. Obviously, I know there was one fighter last week who had a WBC tattoo on his leg, which I thought was a little bit, ironic considering their stance. But based on what you've seen, do you have any feelings about what you're seeing?
It's their beginning. They're starting. There's a lot of confusion on the message that first they say, no WBC and other organizations, and we will not deal with any other promoters. And then they sign Opetaya, and then they say, well, we might be doing, we don't know. So there's confusion. I feel very sorry for Callum Walsh. He was the WBC Continental Americas champion. First, the WBC USA champion before that. Super welterweight. Unbelievable nice kid whom I've seen him many times. His dream to be the WBC champion. His social media is full of videos with his belt and pushing, saying it's a dream, blah, 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 blah. Now he's into that league and he has to fight in middleweight because they don't have super welterweight. And he didn't look good. I don't know if he can be built into a middleweight. So that example of Callum Walsh, I felt sad for him. There was another fighter in that card, also Continental America's champion. So they sent us a letter, Tom Loeffler, vacating those titles because they cannot defend. I hope they do well, in reality.
Why?
Because it's boxers having a activity and earning the living. But I hope they do it in the same as the other promoters. There's no need to change the structure because it sounds, it smells like everything will be built to make a huge enterprise with all the money going to their pockets and not the fighters.
But that's what's happening, right? That's what they want, right?
That's what they want, but now the law still not changed.
But it seems inevitable.
I guess that the fights have been under the Muhammad Ali Act so far.
So far, yes.
So there's so many unanswered questions.
Do you think it would be bad if they pass this bill, the Revival Act?
I do think so.
Why?
From what I have seen, because the fighters will not have representation. They will not have the opportunity to one time make the money that the Crawfords and Canelos and Pacquiao's make. They cannot fulfill the dream of being the WBC champion. Ask any fighter, and I can assure you 90% want the green belt. If not, they want the WBO, WBA, IBF belt.
Right.
They want to be world champions, and they cannot offer that.
How will you feel? So they signed Jaya Pataya, and there's, I think, talk. I don't know if they announced the fight yet. He's the IBF champion, cruiserweight champion.
I saw a picture with Noel Mikaelian,
who's the WBC champion.
Who's the WBC champion.
But what happens then? Will Noel vacate, or what if they say, okay, no problem? But I was wondering, they have him throw the belt in the garbage or something to send us a message that we don't care about this belt. Will you partake? Have they reached out to you about, okay?
No, I have not received any communication. Noel is going to Mexico tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have a press conference. Every week, the WBC has the weekly press conference. Christian Mbili was there last week.
Yes.
Oshaki Foster was there at the beginning of the year. Jesus Ramos. So Noel, all I saw was a picture of Opetaya and Noel.
Yeah.
With Rick Reno in the middle, the Versace guy.
So what does that mean?
I don't know.
You're going to find out.
I'll find out.
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe they do a unification fight.
But they said they don't want to deal with the WBC. So how are they going to do that?
I don't know. But then Dana said they might.
You think so?
He said it in an interview.
I know, but do you really think so?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like it.
I don't know. They're welcome. If they want to do a unification fight, if they want to promote boxing.
You want to work with them?
Of course, but they have to comply with the rules and the structure. And don't worry, Nick, I will buy my room as I did in Las Vegas. I paid for my room.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And for everyone else that was working with WBC? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think Alberto Leon was the supervisor for Mbili. Lester Martinez, I think he had a room.
Okay. On a different note, I wanted to ask you about women's boxing, which is having a great resurgence. MVP, as you know, signing a lot of women's fighters, and
Santiago Brown.
Yes, very good signing. Last week they announced that, and their stance as of late has been they want 3-minute rounds. Mm-hmm. Amanda Serrano was undisputed champion. She had to give up the WBC belt, right? Because based on my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you did not want to recognize 3-minute rounds for the women. You wanted the standard 2-minute rounds. Could you explain why? And are you open to changing? Are you open to recognizing this so that men and women fight under the same, rule set, if you will?
Yeah, this is a hot topic.
Yes.
It's wrongly seen as a gender or as equality or as sexist. This is nothing about those. It's only about safety. Boxing, the WBC is the first organization who created the championship for women back in 2004. We have done conventions exclusively for women boxing. We have lobbied and supported and fought very hard for women with networks, with media, with promoters. From that era, boxing was seen as a man's sport, very difficult to. Still today, there are companies that do not promote women, and there are still persons that do not like women's boxing. To the contrary, we have been a very strong advocate supporting women in all aspects. the reality is that woman and man, we are different. Different bone structure. The skull has difference. The cervical spine has a difference. The studies from other sports are clear that women have more possibility of a concussion, and the recovery from the concussion is much longer. Hormonal changes, hormonal situation, the period, monthly period that women have. There's many differences between the man and the woman. And we did a study back in 1978 with UCLA. The WBC funded that study. After a year, with the results that came in, the government paid 50 times what the WBC funded to continue with that research. All those studies are the ones that are used in every emergency room, every protocol for the soldiers and all this, anything that has to do with brain injury. Those studies came from what we started. And the reality is there's a formula. Fatigue plus dehydration plus punch, it's a mortal combination for the brain. So the more you fight means you are more tired and more dehydrated. A woman fight is 10 rounds for 2 minutes, that's 20 minutes. To change it from 20 minutes to 36 minutes, it's a huge difference and will put women at risk in a very strong manner, according to the medical experts and according to what we have seen on all the research. We don't want to say, I told you so. Or we are not willing to say, okay, let's try it. Let's see if a woman is going to die in the 8th round of a 3-minute round. We will not do that. Unless there's a conclusive, very strong proof that they are not at a higher danger as everything sees or shows us, that they will be at a much higher danger because of what I just said, we will not do anything to change women. Plus, the 2-minute rounds are so exciting. They are so commercial. Women going, and the fights are incredibly popular. And what I have seen in the 3-minute for women, they have not been able to accomplish excitement, or they're selling a product of saying man like woman. That's wrong, very wrong. It's not about equality, as I said. It's about safety.
Okay. 2 quick ones, and then I'll let you go. And thank you. This has been great, and I really appreciate it. I know we're running out of time, so I want to allow you to get on with your day. One fast one on Alexander Usyk. I know you said that you were giving him an exemption, and you're waiting to see what he plans to do. He's the WBC champion. Obviously, he's considered the king of the heavyweights, and Turki Al-Sheikh said he was interested in having him fight Rico Verhoeven, who's a kickboxing champion. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with the WBC belt being on the line, boxer versus kickboxer?
I don't know. I don't know Rico, or this is the first time I hear about this. The WBC accepted Usyk's request for a voluntary defense. We were led that Wilder was going to probably fight him, but I don't know anything else.
Okay.
We do have, in one of the ratings criteria is for a boxer what they do in Muay Thai or kickboxing, amateur boxing. That's one of the criteria. I don't know if that would be what is the case of this specific fighter. I will have to, of course, look into it.
Okay.
So I would not like to mislead or speculate.
Okay. And just curious, obviously the Pacquiao-Barrios fight ended up being a tremendous fight. It was a draw. I thought maybe Pacquiao even won the fight, to be honest. But WBC did take some, criticism for ranking him and then having him, fight for the belt. Could I just ask, and I know this might be a longer, thing, but how do you justify that? Is it based on his resume, based on who he is? Because most people who are out for that long don't get put in the rankings as high as he was, and then an immediate title shot upon returning.
Yeah, we took a beating.
Yes,
on
yes,
that.
yes.
But that's what I like to be the punching bag.
Okay.
We have rules and we have processes. As a champion, you have rights or you have privileges. The first thing was full medicals to see, especially at his age, what is the medical condition. Second, get a license. He was licensed by Nevada. He sent the absolute full medicals, and him being a legend, a proven fighter of an elite place, the WBC accepted and voted in favor to allow him to challenge for the WBC title. Decades ago, Sugar Ray Leonard had been out of the ring 4 years with a detached retina. So it was the same process. 2 different doctors to analyze. He was in absolute recovery from the detached retina. Nevada license. Dwayne Ford, he was a chairman at that time. He had the license for Sugar Ray, and he was approved, and he beat Hagler. And Pacquiao came very close of beating Barrios. So I feel proud. I feel happy. When the fight ended, I had a smile on my face because I knew it was going to be like that.
Well, you were vindicated in a way based on the performance, and I'm looking forward to Ryan Garcia against Mario Barrios on the 21st of February. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Mauricio. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on and answering some of these questions, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. It's a fascinating time for the sport, as you said, a fascinating, challenging time, but it's very interesting to cover from our seat here. So appreciate you and Martin very much, who I worked with at Showtime, who I admire and respect very, very much. He's a great, great guy. So thank you so much.
He's a great guy, Martin.
Yes, so thank you for coming, and thank you to him for setting this up. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. It has been very special for me.
Thank you. There he is,
Appreciate
Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of the WBC. We're going to take a quick break, say goodbye to Mauricio, and be back with Quillan Salkilld and Robert Whittaker. Don't go anywhere. Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at that. I saw you doing some media with that. Yeah. What prompted this? I saw the IFL geezer giving you shit over the hair, and I was like,
yeah,
hey,
but he can't pull it off. He's just upset. That's all.
I mean, you're not even on camera, and you're talking about people. Look at you. You're looking like $1 million here. I like it. I like it.
I'll take it.
What prompted it?
Impulsiveness. Very impulsive.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
You just woke up and said, I'm doing this.
I just woke up, I shave it, then I grow it, then I shave it, then I grow my beard, then I shave my beard, change my car, then I.
You've had many different looks. I like this look. You do it yourself?
No, definitely not.
Okay, you go to a pro?
It turned out a bit yellow.
Yeah.
Yellowy green.
Does it represent something?
Apparently, changing your hair color as drastic as I have shows instability, which is weird.
Wait, it shows stability or instability?
Instability. Yeah.
Really?
Being unstable, yeah. I found that very interesting.
Are you unstable?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I feel like I know you, but I don't know you that well.
No,
maybe your missus could.
We won't ask her.
Yeah. Do you feel that way though?
No, not
part
at all.
of you. No.
What? Unstable?
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe you have to be a little bit to be a fighter, right?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know where this conversation's going.
No, I don't know. I mean, you're the one that brought it up. But I feel like fighters, I don't possess the DNA that you possess. I don't have the courage. I don't have like that.
I wouldn't say you have courage to do things in your field. I feel like
make that walk.
Yeah, but I feel like as fighters, you're either wired that way or you're not.
Right.
I couldn't do what you do.
Yeah, but this doesn't possess the kind of courage that you possess.
It possesses different qualities.
Yeah.
That I don't possess. And fighting, I have qualities that others don't. Then I look at other people in different industries and I go, wow, how do you do that? Even to the point where I had people come in my house and do work in my house. They managed to put up some drawers, managed to put this up, put that up, change that room, create that room. And I'm going, wow, I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
Because I can't even, put up a mirror.
What's interesting about that unstable line is that one of the things I wanted to ask you about was, we spoke like in the immediate aftermath of the Eubank win.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, like, as a collective family, the Benn family, does it feel like the 800-pound gorilla? Like, do you notice that a weight has been lifted off your dad's shoulders because of the history off your shoulders? Now, 3 or so months removed, does it feel that way? Because that would be the opposite of unstable.
It was nice. It was satisfying for us all as a family. The family feud. It felt like it was settled. It still feels now like it's settled. Like that's it. We've drawn a line in it now. Like that's it. We've made history. We've done what hasn't been done before, and it was just nice to do what I know I can do. Was it as exciting as the first fight? No, definitely not. But it wasn't about that for me. The second fight for me, it was just about winning. It wasn't about going in there.
All right, that was my conversation with Conor Benn from last Wednesday. Mauricio Sulaiman was just in studio. That was a great chat. Appreciate him coming on. Been watching him on TV for so many years, so that was really interesting. And thank you to Shu Shu Carrington. Still to come, Robert Whittaker. But for now, let's go to the future of Aussie fighting. Another fantastic win for him on Saturday/Sunday in Sydney. He unveiled the Salkilld Slam, I do believe it's being called, at least by some, or at the very least by me. A tremendous win over the one and only Jamie Mullarkey, rear naked choke win in the first round. Loved the way, took him down, threw him to the canvas, trapped the leg, submitted him, a tremendous technique. It was kind of like a rear naked / neck crank. This man is well on his way. He's got it all, it seems, and he's kind enough to join us on a Tuesday morning in Sydney. There he is. Hello, Quillan. How are you?
Hey, Ariel. Thanks for having me on again.
It's great to have you on, and I appreciate it, and I want to congratulate you. What a performance. You're on some kind of roll. What do you think of that name, by the way? I feel like we're looking for a name. That the Salkilld Slam, do you like that? I feel like that could be your thing.
Yeah, I like that. That can be my signature move.
Yeah, because they were talking at the post-fight presser, there's like the Salkilld lateral drop. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, and I know you said that you train with a lot of judo guys, and that's your thing, and you did it in front of DC. It was amazing, man. Like, you couldn't have scripted that any better.
Yeah, I've had plenty of practice. I've been thrown with that same move countless times by my training partners, so it's good to, get to steal that and then, show it on the big stage.
Can I ask you about the way in which you secured the choke? What I liked about it is you didn't get the traditional body lock there. You just trapped one leg. I think it was his left leg, which you don't see quite often. Was that something that you do on purpose, or was that just the way everything materialized?
Yeah, just the way it happened. I like that lock around the hip. So one hook and then the other, I then crossed my feet around and I had I still had control of his opposite hip. And then the way I had like the neck crank, his chin was turning left. And because I had only the single hook, when I hipped in, he was pretty much twisting his body up. So it kind of made the choke and the crank even tighter, opposed to having actual two hooks in.
So now 4-0 in 16 months in the UFC. Everyone's talking about you. Some calling you the breakout fighter of 2025. You're getting love from everyone. You're fighting at home. Does this all feel very real now for you, or do you feel like you're flying on cloud nine? Like, how are you processing all of this happening so quickly for you? It seems.
I don't even know. Like it's really cool. Everything is progressing a lot faster than what I anticipated this time last year. And I'm just enjoying myself, having a good time, and I'm stoked to have all this momentum going my way, and I'm just real keen to keep on going full steam ahead.
You were supposed to fight, I believe, originally Rong Zhu, and then you found out about the Mullarkey switch about 3 weeks before the fight. A, how did you feel about that? And B, how did you feel about fighting, another Anzac fighter?
Yeah, when I found out, I was a bit surprised that they matched us up on the on an Aussie card, but obviously I don't really know Jamie at all.
Okay.
Leading up to this, I've met him before, but it's not like we're mates or anything. So it was easy just to say get into the fight. So obviously no feelings in the end of the day, just business and yeah.
By the way, one thing that I was wondering, I know Aussie fans and fighters, you guys are used to watching the UFC on Sunday, but just like fighting in the morning, fighting early, as opposed to if you're in, the UAE and you're fighting in the evening, or here in the United States, what is that like for your body? Are you Are you doing things differently leading up? Do you feel different? You didn't look like you felt any different, but I'm just curious about the difference between fighting on a morning card as opposed to an evening card.
Yeah, I think when you rock up to the venue, all concept of time is kind of goes out the window. But what the good thing is actually having an extra sleep to refuel after weigh-ins, because we weigh in like Friday afternoon and then fight Sunday morning. So I got like nearly 48 hours in between weigh-ins and fighting, which is quite unusual, and that's actually in itself is very cool.
I saw
I train in the mornings anyway, so I'm used to working in the mornings.
Yeah, I saw Dan Hooker talk about that, and I wasn't sure if he was like actually annoyed because he was just ready to go, or if he was like, 2 nights in between weigh-ins and fight is a little bit weird. So you like that?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, it's just more time you get like a whole free day in between. Like the Saturday was just, I didn't know what to do. It was weird, like weighing in, having the whole Saturday free and then fighting Sunday morning. But I like it because, I get the fight day nerves. So if you're fighting at nighttime, you got to deal with the nerves all day leading up to it.
Right, okay.
If you fight like morning, you just wake up and you get straight into it, and there you go.
Were you able to sleep the night before? Because, you're going to sleep and waking up. Was that tough because of the nerves?
Actually, no, I was actually quite fine.
Okay, wow, all right.
I'm very hit and miss. It's weird. Like sometimes, I remember with my debut last year, I didn't sleep at all the night before. And then this year I slept like a baby the night before. Like, I know sometimes it's just random.
Okay. You said after the fight, and I remember you saying this after the October fight as well, you want a top 15 guy. Do you feel like you're finally going to get one now after this performance?
I think I can get one now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very on the cards now. I'm hoping.
Who are we thinking?
I don't even know who's there. Like guys like Ziam, Moicano, like other guys. Even after Ruffy had a good performance. Yeah, like any of
Manuel
those guys.
Torres, Benil Dariush,
Torres,
Fiziev.
All those guys just breaking into the top 15 would be a good next fight.
A lot of the top 155ers have fought as of late. When you watch them, and some of them were in action at the top of this card, you probably recognize that there's a bit of a system in place. But do you feel like you are there already? Do you feel like you can hang and beat those guys already?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Wow.
They're all beatable.
All beatable. Do you say that because you feel like every man is beatable, or those guys in particular all have holes in their games, and you think that you could be the guy to take them out?
Yeah, I just think I'm more well-rounded than all of them, and I use all my tool sets more, so I'll find the spot in the fight to exploit them at the time.
Like when you watch Paddy versus Justin the week prior, what did you think?
Yeah, they're just like fighters. I think I can go in there and be able to take them out just as well as the next guys in the top 10. I think we're all dangerous. Like this lightweight's the most stacked division, obviously in the sport, and I think any one of us can beat any other one of us.
I tend to agree with you, although I reserve the right to take it back if you shave the stash. I think it's a problem if you shave the stash. You've been hinting at it. This is a problem, I think.
I think it is. I might be going back because I've now just thought about the memes that are going to come in place where people see me without a mustache. I don't want to see that anymore. So I've got the internet to worry about. I forgot to take that into account. So it might need to stay on. I just need to say I lied about shaving it.
How long have you had it for?
Since 2022 now. So it's coming up for about 4 years, just over. I'm going to look hell weird without it.
No, you can't do that. I actually feel very strongly about this. Your friends, your family, your management, they all need to convince you otherwise. And I'm actually not joking. You know why, Quillan? Because I feel like your look makes you stick out. In a sport at times where everyone's wearing the same thing and the uniforms and all this stuff, it's hard to stick out. And I feel like you have a very unique look. You shave that thing, you start to look like everyone else. And I know you'll probably say
it wouldn't be gone for long. It won't be gone for long.
Okay, it's just a quick one.
2 weeks back. I was just curious to see what I look like without it.
You forgot?
Yeah, I forgot. I have to look back at old photos, but I just want to see. But I don't think I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I can. I don't think I have the guts to actually put the trimmer to it.
Is there like a significant other or someone who's telling you to do this? Because if so, they've got to go.
Hell no.
Okay,
That'd
good.
be dumb. Case.
Did you go to the casino after the fight?
Hell yeah.
How'd you do?
We're up.
Up.
We're up.
Well
Yep,
done.
We're up. That's it.
Big time?
A bit. Yeah, a couple grand.
Okay, well done. What are we playing?
Yeah. Blackjack
Okay, only blackjack.
choice. Yeah.
Are you doing like those Dana
I
White
suck at
hands?
everything else.
Like the $10,000 hands like Dana White or whatever it is?
Nah. Not at that level yet. Not at that level yet. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. Building our way up.
There's one in like in Sydney, right? Like there's an actual casino there?
Yeah, there's a casino here, yeah.
Okay. Were you just walking around there after the fight and people recognizing you? Like weren't you the guy that was just on the UFC?
Yeah, that's where I get recognized the most.
Really?
The other gambling legends, everyone recognizes me there. Anywhere else I go, no one knows me. But if I go there, everyone points me out.
Love that. Love that. Yeah. Were you able to watch Volk's fight from the arena?
I actually didn't. By the time everything unfolded, and I still got to actually watch that fight back. I only just watched the Rufi and Fiziev fight back, and I still got to catch up on the rest of the main card.
Okay. The reason I was asking was he got such a great, reception, the walkout, the fan support, and I was just wondering if there was any part of you seeing that being like, one day that is going to be me fighting at home, fighting in Australia, fighting in front of my people. This is what I want. If your mind 100%. Wanders there.
100%. That's how I felt. Even like this time, like the crowd was so good. I remember it last year. I was the first fight on the card on the prelims for my debut last year, and I remember the crowd being wicked then. And then this time around, obviously being first fight in the main card, the whole arena was absolutely full, and it's so cool. That's it's like my favorite part is actually the walkout when it got my walkout music playing, and I'm seeing the whole crowd erupt. It's the best part of the sport, in my opinion.
I was talking about your look and you being a fan favorite. I know you've been asked a lot about the bakery stuff, and you're trying to dispel any sort of notion that your family owns a bakery. It's kind of taken a life of its own. You got the tattoo. This has kind of been like an amazing thing for you, right? Like this sort of like internet lore. People love this stuff. Do you recognize that?
Hell yeah. Yeah, the story has made itself up, and no matter what I say, no one believes me. So I just got to go with it, I think.
Well, I see you leaning towards it because I think you have like a...
Yeah, I lean towards it, and then it's like, it's gone too far, and I try to pull back a bit, and it's too late.
You can't do that.
It's too late. Can't do that.
You've got the full violence shirt, right? With the... Look at that. I mean, that's a great...
Oh, yeah.
We were trying to...
Not even...
Is that AI or is that real? Are you really in the kitchen there? It looks very real.
Yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah. I honestly feel like you can maybe start to like go in that direction here, like slap your name on. We spoke to James Tahuna, who just opened a bakery over in Sydney. I feel like there's something there where people will really get behind it.
Damn, I think I could. Perth Bakery should be opened up.
Let's go.
I think so. That's good. Yeah.
I also saw you with the mink coat recently. That wasn't in Sydney, was it?
That was, yeah.
What's going on over here? Isn't it summertime over there? What do you need a coat like that for?
I just needed a pimp jacket. It's going to get cool soon. It's going to get cold, so I'm saving it.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I did. It's Alaskan wolf fur.
Come on. How much is that?
That was only like $500.
That's not bad.
$500,000.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The hat, the hat is sick too.
I didn't get the hat. That was way too small.
I like the whole look.
I was trying to fit it on, but it didn't go on. I need to get another. I need a pimp hat, and I need to get a pimp cane. That's what I'm on the hunt for. I'm staying in Sydney for an extra few more days, so I'm going to go shopping and look for a big pimp cane.
And why is that? Why are you on the lookout for this?
Just because I want it. Impulse buy.
And what about the nickname search? Where are we at with that?
I don't know. I'm not coming up with anything.
Can I be honest with you? Your name is so unique. I think it would be a mistake. I'm giving you all the advice here. Mistake. Stay away from the nickname. You're Q, man.
Yeah, I'm all happy for that because all the nicknames people come up for me, probably I shouldn't have.
No.
So I'm happy just sticking with no nickname.
When you have a name as good as Quillan, you don't need a nickname, if you ask me.
I agree.
I wish I had one more kid. I think I'd call them Quillan too. I love your name.
Yeah, it's a cool name.
Were you named after someone?
No. I think my mum just chose it. I think she just seen it and liked it, and then just picked it out.
Were your family in attendance on Sunday?
Yeah, my family in attendance. Yeah, my parents, my sisters, had heaps of people come over from Perth as well. So it was a good crew that we had come over.
That wasn't their first time seeing you in the UFC, was it?
My sister and brother-in-law was, and then everyone else has come over before.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they're very proud of you, very happy for you. And quickly before I let you go, how quickly do you want to return at this point? I'm sure you're feeling pretty good after that one.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. No injuries. Didn't have to break my foot this time, so I'm happy not to be walking around in a moon boot. I can get straight back into training, and I'm looking for maybe May. There's a rumored Perth card that's going to happen around that time, so it'd be cool if I could get on that actually at home. I reckon that would go off.
Well, I hope that happens for you. You're on some kind of roll, like I said, and it's very fun to watch. So want to wish you continued success. Well done. Great performance on Saturday. Enjoy your time over there, and thank you for waking up a little bit early to join us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ariel. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All the best. There he is, Quillan Salkilld, who's now 4-0 in the UFC. Another great win for him. He continues to roll, and he's part of this new wave of Australian-born fighters. But let's not forget who the first one was. Let's not forget who the first Australian-born champion was, the man who paved the way for a lot of these fighters. And, I am not forgetting about, the Anthony Peroshas of the world and the George Soteropouloses of the world, but Robert Whittaker took things to another level. He was a part of the broadcast from Las Vegas. He was a part of the desk crew talking about all things UFC 325, and dare I say, did a fantastic job. He's kind enough to join us from back in Las Vegas. Let us say hello to the one and only Robert Whittaker. There he is. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm always so used to bothering you early in the morning. So I wanted to take this opportunity to have an afternoon chat, even though I think I actually bothered you because I think you were training this afternoon. So I can never quite figure it out, but I do appreciate you doing this. By the way, what do you think of Q over there, Quillan Salkilld, the future in many people's eyes? What do you think of him?
Mate, every time I hear him speak and I see that moustache and I see how laid back he is and his responses, the mink jacket, I just fall more and more in love with him, man. He's just a gentleman. I love his attitude. I love he's quirky, dude. And that's not even mentioning any of his skill sets. Like the kid has the complete package. So I cannot see his ceiling.
I couldn't agree more. We talk about it, he has it, right? He just has it.
Yeah.
And I could see him in big fights. He's really got it all. And what a wave of Australian fighters that are coming into boxing and MMA right now. Like I said, you paved the way. And I thought maybe there was a chance you'd be on this card. And then I thought for sure you'd be a part of the festivities. There you were in Las Vegas for a Sydney card. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was ironic, to be honest, because I flew across the world to broadcast for a card that was down the road. But I was getting serious FOMO the entire broadcast because I could see how crazy the Australian crowd was. I could feel the energy, and I knew how crazy it would be afterwards. So many Aussies got it done. Having Volk get it done in the main event obviously would have set the levels. I paved the way for all the festivities moving on into the night. So, yeah, I had some serious FOMO.
Was there any talk of you being on this card originally?
So after last fight, I was talking with my family and stuff, and I knew my wife was due around November, and I wanted to take some time to just separate myself from the game a little bit. I think the last couple camps haven't been super fun, so I've just been trying to bring that back into the game and just focus on some different things because I don't want to focus on other things such as the gym and everything else and broadcasting and stuff whilst in camp. I feel like the split in attention is not giving the game enough respect enough respect. So, yeah, having that time away, doing these things, these side gigs, working with the broadcast team and stuff like that is good. But I'm just about ready to get back in there.
Okay, but when you found out about Sydney, was there any part of you that was like, okay, I do feel this way, but man, it is enticing to fight so close to home? Like, were you any other place easy to say I'm taking a break, but when you found that they were coming back to Sydney, were you tempted?
Oh, definitely. It's it's literally my hometown. I haven't fought in Sydney in a long time.
Right.
So to be there, to be able to, all my family and friends be in attendance as well, like it just, and to be there with Volk as well, to be on such a card, it would have been cool. It would have really been cool.
What did you think of his performance?
You know what? And I said it in every show that would listen to me. I thought Volk wrote the blueprint on how to beat Diego Lopez, and I didn't see enough changes in Diego's last fight to threaten Volk. And honestly, that's exactly how the fight played out.
Okay, so no surprises at all.
None. Like, no surprises. Like, the only thing you could say is I thought Diego cut the cage off more, you know, which was he wasn't doing in the first fight. But Volk's championship IQ of just changing sides that he's moving on, like leaning into the power hand, was just flawless. And the kicks, I guess, like Diego throwing those kicks was another thing, but I just feel like he's kind of throwing them willy-nilly. I think I saw he injured both feet.
Yeah, fractured both feet.
Not like throwing kicks from the southpaw stance. If you're not a southpaw, is sketchy. Throwing kicks is sketchy if you don't time them well, you don't find the openings. You know, you can hurt yourself.
Seeing Diego switch stances and then seeing Volk respond by switching as well was pretty amazing. He is just an absolute master. And I'm wondering how they just announced today Movsar Evloev and Lerone Murphy. How do you think he fares against them?
It's hard to say. Like everyone's kind of waiting for Volk to fall off, but it's just not happening. Volk's taking, like, he's getting better. He's really just backing up his experience. His body's holding out really well. His championship level experience and IQ is just making it known throughout the division. I just feel like he is still, like, the gap between him and everybody else is just too great for anybody to close just yet.
When you watch him, obviously being a fellow Aussie, but just the way he conducts himself, even the way he conducts himself at the pressers, talking about how these guys deserve it. Like, you don't see a lot of champions do that. I mean, not trying to say just because you're here, but like the class reminds me a lot of you, how you held yourself and conducted yourself as a champion. Do you get inspiration from that? Do you feel some sort of way about that? Because I said earlier, I feel like he's the last of a dying breed. I feel like now any champion would be like, yeah, give me Armin. That's a money fight for me. Like, let me have that fight. And to hell with those boring guys or something like that. And the fact that he's the one campaigning for the guys who are not getting the opportunities says so much about him, in my opinion. And so I wonder how you digest that when you see that.
Yeah, I'm proud. You know, he's out there just making Australia look good, because that's what we do. We're great athletes and we're gentlemen at the end of the day.
That burnout, to call it that, if I can, I don't know if that's the right way to call it, but like the break that you needed. And by the way, congratulations on the new addition to the family. This is number 5, right?
6.
Golly. Are you officially done, by the way?
Every time I come on the show, I keep saying yes.
So you're not. You're leaving it open, huh?
No, but it's exactly as I said. Every time I feel like every time I'm talking to you, you're like, "Congratulations, are you done?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I have another one. I'm just not going to say anything this time.
God bless you.
I feel like it's like a curse.
Is that like, how do you even do this? By the way, I'm wondering, as a father of 3, how do you pull this off with 6?
Mate, it's anybody's guess, really. I have a great wife. You have moments where, like, you're pulling your hair out a bit, but then you have moments where all the kids are playing together, having fun, you know, spending time. It's like a daycare group, and you know it's worth it. So it's just, you take the good with the bad sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, that is the best, though, when they're so close and playing together, and it just kind of like runs itself. The age range now is what?
It's 10. So my oldest is 10.
Wow.
Like 10, 9, 8, and then 5, 2, 1.
And then it's just a total like free for all.
5 to 8 weeks.
Sure. Golly. And the boy girl breakdown?
3 boys, 3 girls.
Oh, you're perfect. You're set.
Can't get luckier, honestly. Imagine if I had 6 boys, that would have been mental.
God.
Boy energy is crazy, bro.
Or 6 girls.
Yeah. Well, I would have been looked after at least.
Yeah, that is a good point. And so what I was wondering was, like, do you think it's to the point where you may never come back? Is that possible?
No, definitely. I'm coming back in June.
You are okay in June. Why June?
That's just the date. I want to, like I said, I don't want to split my attention between the craft, the fighting, my next fight, and broadcasting and traveling and stuff. I want to lock in. So after I get back from Vegas and doing this, I'm going to lock in, give myself a proper 3 months or 4-ish months to work on some new things, which I've been doing anyway. But I want to come into the next fight different because I don't know. People have been watching my style for too long. I think it's time for a change.
Who are we thinking?
I'm not too sure yet. There might be some changes coming, so we'll wait and see.
Wait a second, Robert. What are we talking about changes? When you say changes, I think of change in weight class, not you like
Maybe.
shaving. Okay.
Maybe.
Up or down?
Let's see. Definitely not down.
Okay. Wow, 205, Rob.
Mate, the last couple cuts have been hard, and I know the growing trend is like Rob's a small middleweight, but I'm just short with stumpy arms, okay, and like I'm tall, I'm short for the division anyway, so there's not much difference going up. They're taller than me anyway, down in middleweight. Like I'm a big guy, like people don't realize how long it takes me to get down to the weight.
So, like, could I ask? Right now, you're in between fights, in between camps. How much do you weigh?
Like 235, maybe.
Wow. Okay. Wow. This would be a dream for you, right?
Yeah, it's that Islander blood.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Who interests you up there? Have you taken a look? Surely you have.
I feel like the division's open. I feel
Yeah.
like some good fights to be had. I feel like there's a lot of guys that I can my skill set can prevail on. But like I said, like wait and see. I'm gonna have some conversations with some people this week, and we'll
Okay.
lock things in after.
So a few chats over in Vegas.
Yeah. I'm in the area. So
Yeah. You might as well.
I can organize something.
Any part of the plans? You're there with the PI, and I know they have some great people there who could do testing and whatnot to talk to them if this will make sense for you. Are you going to do that as well?
Nah.
Okay, you don't need that. All right, perfect. Am I crazy to think that you have made up your mind?
Nah, not crazy, but like I'm at a point where like I could be convinced out of it.
Okay.
But I'm like that's what a lot of the break was about as well. I was like, what do I do? Like, do I want to keep doing this? Like, I just feel so weak at the end of the camp, of the 85 camp, and it's just and then fight week. I'm eating nothing to get down to a point where I can cut the water. It's just stuff. It takes a lot of the fun out of it.
So if like no was 1 and yes was 10, you're like at a 9 right now in terms of making the switch?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
90% there.
Yeah, I could have said it that way as well. Is this Sean Strickland's fault, by the way?
Why? Because he wouldn't fight me.
Well, I don't know. Is that true? Would he not fight you? No, because he said some things recently. He called you a gatekeeper, and they said that.
Are you saying he hurt my feelings?
Yeah, I was wondering whose fault this was.
It's no one's fault. Sean. It is what it is.
Did you hear those comments?
Hey?
Did you hear those comments from him?
I think I scrolled and saw him a bit, but I don't know.
You weren't bothered.
What do I say? Hey, nah, it's like he was a gatekeeper too.
You consider him one now, perhaps?
It's a club we're both a part of.
Do you think he beats Fluffy?
That's a tricky fight because, like, I don't think he's going to slow down against Hernandez. You know what I mean? And I don't think Fluffy holds him down like consistently. And if they stand back up, like Strickland's good at that kind of pressure game, but I think he's got a pretty good jab to annoy you for the 5 rounds. So I No, it's an interesting fight. You know?
Do you think that this this potential move, like the fire is the fire, right? The love of the game is the love of the game, regardless of weight class. Now, I know that cutting weight hurts some of that, right? You're like, golly, this sucks.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is what's missing, or is there some soul searching that has to be done as well?
No, there's no soul searching. It's just trying to bring make it a bit more enjoyable. I'm getting older, so I want to. But the weight cuts suck even more. You know what I mean? Also, like with the fight style changes, I think that the changes would be better from a heavier position. It's there's a lot of like reasons why I want to. Also reasons why I don't like, but
what would be the don't? I get the why, but what would be the don't?
I don't have to buy a whole new wardrobe of clothes.
That's good.
I had to buy new suits for the shows because nothing fits anymore.
Yes.
You know, no, it's fun. Well, my reasoning as well is that light heavyweight dudes knock each other out anyway. Like even if they are like a proper light heavy, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Nothing changes. Like just don't get hit. Try not to get hit.
You are right, though. It's a very wide open division right now. I mean, even the champion might be moving up, and you might have a vacant title fight. I would imagine you probably think like 1 or 2 fights, given your history, your resume, your stature, you're right in the mix there.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm always 1 or 2 fights from a conversation.
Sure.
You know? Even in the middleweight division, the middleweight division is just as right. You have look at the top 5 guys. They weren't there until last year.
Could you imagine a Robert Whittaker, Carlos Ulberg title fight? A little Australia-New Zealand part 2 for you?
Nah, because I've trained with him now. We're kind of mates. I don't think it'd be. Right.
Well, what happens if he gets the belt?
And even now, like I think if I did move to light heavy, I'd want to go over there and train with him a little bit, probably.
Okay, but what if he becomes a champion very soon? He might be fighting for the belt next.
Yeah. Cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. What about this Netflix show that you did, Rob? You know, there's like crazy memes that have come out of this from that one scene. Yeah. You know this one right here.
Yeah.
How did you end up on this Physical Asia show?
I was just they reached out to me, and I don't know. It was a great opportunity for me just to try something different. You know, I've been obsessed with the game for a long time, like most of my career, and I'm fortunate enough to have had a long enough a career that you can get to a position like this. So I wanted to go and try something different, be a part of like a team for once. MMA is a lonely sport.
The I live here, brother line, like that. We got to make some merch for that. That is incredible stuff.
You reckon it would take off?
Oh my God. I wanted to run through a wall when I saw it. It was unbelievable. And it felt genuine. Oh, who's this? Is someone making this? I think some fans are making this. No, we need official Robert Whittaker merch here.
All right. I'll speak to some people.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Oh, wow. I don't even want to cut. I just want to see you get all the money, you know? What are you doing there in that clip? Like, what are you holding on to there?
It's like, what are they called? They're called the Hercules pillars.
Okay.
Or whatever. It's like it's a strongman sort of thing. So you're just kind of holding onto these 2 pillars that are falling over.
And you have to keep them up for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And how long did you do it for?
We only had to do it until the others lost. So
okay.
I think we did it for like 17 minutes. But then there was like the Mongols, the Mongolian team that ended up holding for like 40-something minutes.
Golly. They won?
Yeah.
47?
Because it was 2. There were 2 3-man.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So they weren't in our bracket.
Golly, that's unbelievable. Well, it's fun that you get to do those things with the likes of Manny Pacquiao and stuff, right?
Yeah, no, it was a really cool experience, and also just seeing all the other athletes. Like there were so many Olympians there, so many other MMA guys. Like Yushin Okami was over there, Stungum was there. Like we had like Muay Thai champions. It was just like Olympic wrestlers. It was cool, man. Really, really cool.
Did you enjoy doing the desk stuff on Saturday?
I did. It beats getting punched in the face a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm still at a point because I'm still in my career. Like I get FOMO seeing these guys walk out and doing their thing. I'm like, and I feel like an imposter on the desk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I should be there, like walking out and stuff still. So I'm sure there'll be a time when I won't feel like that, and when I've wrapped things up. But I'm just setting a stage for transitioning after fighting.
They did you guys dirty there, showing you guys like all chilling, Chris with his feet on the table. You saw that?
Yeah, my dad and wife went off at me like, "You're not professional. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Mate, we were sitting there for like 6 hours.
You're just sitting in that studio the whole time, right?
Yeah, just watching the fights and just on call for if something happens.
The last time we spoke, you kind of laid out a plan, like you had it all laid out. Obviously, things changed. Do you have a new plan now? Do you have a new 2-3 fight plan?
Oh, mate, I just want to fight in June. That's the plan right now.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes.
And is there a location that you have in mind?
I think the White House card is around that time, isn't it?
Oh,
that would be awesome. To be a part of that would be sick.
That's the dream.
Otherwise, see what else is happening.
Okay. Are you sitting down with the brass this week to talk about this?
I'd like to. If they're on their way back, I'd like to just to catch up.
Dana's in town. He was at the boxing last night.
Yeah. So
were you there?
I hopefully set something up and have a chat.
Did you go to the zoo for boxing?
I didn't. I needed to rest.
Yeah.
The jet lag is killing me. I don't know how you guys travel and how these guys travel and then work and then train and then live. Ugh, it's killing me.
Were you surprised Jai signed with them?
Ish. Like, dude's hot stuff. I think he's the next biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's an absolute weapon of a boxer. So, like, I'm sure he's getting compensated, appropriately.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. This has been great to catch up with you. Wanted to do it on a normal time zone. Enjoy your time. By the way, when do you go back home?
This weekend, after the fights.
Okay. Oh, you're staying for the next one too?
Yes, sir.
You're working those as well?
Get my reps in.
That's great. That's smart. See, you're smart. That's smart. Don't just do one. And this one will be at the Apex, so you'll get like a real front row seat for it all.
Even better.
Okay. But by the way, God bless your wife. Back home with the 6 kids while you're over in Vegas.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I'm going home to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take gifts.
You ever get that thing where you call on FaceTime or something and there's complete chaos and there's a part of you that feels really guilty and then it you hang up and then it becomes very quiet and you're like,
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. I hope she doesn't see that. Well, God bless her, and congratulations to you guys, and good luck out there. Great stuff on Saturday. Really enjoyed it. Thought you did a really great job. I know it's hard to be thrown into the fire there and just start analyzing fights, but very smooth, pro class as always. So well done, and thanks as always for joining us, Rob.
Thank you very much for having me, mate. Thanks for the compliments. As
always, there he is, the great Robert Whittaker. I need to see those shirts. What was it again? I live here, brother. I mean, that's a line right there. There it is. That's a tagline. That is a what do we say in the business? A catchphrase. A catchphrase. Okay.
It's a great point.
You know what? It is a great point. It's been a very busy day here. You guys don't even know the half of it, how busy, and it's about to get busier. MMA beat tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Do we have any super chats, Frank? Yeah, we do.
Industry plants 0-2 in 2026.
Oh. Sorry, I thought the guy's name was Industry Plants.
That's fine.
What does that mean? Who's 0-2?
I don't know.
Oh, I think he's saying Diego and Patty.
That's a good guess.
Okay, all right. Well, what else, Frankie? What else?
Which sports at the Winter Games are you studying?
Okay, I will be specifically covering skiing, snowboarding. Like when I say that, I'll be there. I'll be at the all things skiing, all things snowboarding. But the show that I'm doing, which actually I got an email about, the official name of the show that I'm doing, in case you're wondering if you want to look it up, is called Air Canada Olympic Winter Games today. It used to just be called Paris Tonight, but I guess we've leveled up. So that will be on social media, YouTube, also CBC Gem if you're in Canada. Parts of it will actually air on CBC television, which is very exciting. So how am I going to say this? Air Canada Olympic Winter Games today? Golly, that is a mouthful. The show will recap everything that's going on. So there's 4 locations. The hockey is in Milan. There's curling here. There's this, that. So we'll be covering it all. But as far as like where I am, Livigno will be the skiing and the snowboarding. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else?
Guys, what was everyone's favorite Grammys moment?
Oh, I'll be honest with you guys. I was at the Knicks game, so I didn't see it. I saw some clips, saw Bad Bunny, saw Jelly Roll, but I didn't see it. I didn't really see. I mean, I saw those clips, but I didn't really see any performances. Shout out to Bad Bunny winning the was it Album of the Year? So legend, but I think I know what the WFB loved.
Oh yeah,
I loved Cher. Honestly, Cher had a viral
Cher was
moment.
there? Shout out.
She won a Lifetime Achievement Award. Was supposed to present an award, forgot, walked off. Trevor Noah had to summon her back on stage, and then said that Luther Vandross won an award when it was really Kendrick won an award.
Oh, geez. Okay.
It was quite a time. You should look it up.
What else, Frankie? What else?
Ariel, like a young Vince McMahon said, the show must go on, without the sex, of course. Enjoy the Olympics.
Golly.
Cats away, the mice will play. Let's go, boys in the back.
That's a line that is popular in French. Quand les chats sont pas là, les souris dansent. When the cats aren't here, the mice dance. So yes, thank you. I hope that there's a lot of SECS. What else, Frankie? What else?
ER nurse here. There is no clinical difference between a break and a fracture. A tiny crack or a...
No,
that's fine.
I'm saying I feel vindicated because I said that earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Keep going. Yeah.
A tiny crack
Yeah.
or a bone sticking out of the skin are
Yes.
both just called fractures.
Well, there you go. There you go. There you go.
The more you know.
The more down. Oh, what else, Frankie?
Then
What
they
else?
wrote back, if a fighter gets a
wow.
finish and wins fight of the night, do they get 125K or just the 100K?
I don't know.
Who's to check?
Yeah, Bob. Who is to check?
Do you imagine if you won both that you're like, all right, well, there's the 100. Where's
I've been
the
dying
rest?
to do this.
Oh, man.
Did you hear that?
It's pretty loud.
That would be sick. It should be 125. You know what? It should be 125.
It should be.
Yeah. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else?
Loke Dog FC, we're back up this week. Piss running hot. I should have probably read that one first.
Oh, yeah. Mario Bautista. Big time fight at the Apex. Big fight for him. He's got to get another win. Probably the biggest win of his career, I would say. So, yeah, let's see. One of our favorites. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else? Not
How
your
likely
favorite.
is it that PT's White House card prediction falls apart if Trump is impeached beforehand? Is Trump in office the determining factor?
Didn't even think. Is that a thing? Could that happen? I feel like they've impeached him like 6 times.
He was impeached twice before and it
Yeah.
didn't have any consequences.
Right.
But it is true, like, does the UFC decide, like, well, all bets
I'm guessing
are
if there's a new person in office, they're probably not going
Well, it
to
would
be.
just be JD Vance because vice president assumes
Sure,
presidency.
sure. Is he a UFC fan though? They're
I
not
feel
one,
like
they're not one and the
Who's
same.
to
you
check?
know? Yeah.
I feel like, in honor of DT, they would still go on with the show.
It's a great point.
It is a great point. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else?
Has denying these guys a title shot been a 5D chess promo by the UFC? Armin, Lerone, Movsar. People didn't really care to see them fight until now.
Yeah. Listen, I said this to Armin. People like what they seemingly can't have, right? So maybe. I think Armin's really taking matters into his own hands here, but there is something to that for sure. What else, Frankie? What else?
Ariel, my boy Ollie, a.k.a. the P, received his black belt recently. We're both big fans of yours. Give that blonde dragon a shout-out from the old Manpax.
Shout out, Ollie. Great name. Congratulations. Well done. Some doubted you, not I. I believed in you. I hope that you use it wisely. I hope that you use the gifts and the strength that you have now received wisely. And I wish you all the best. And most importantly, congratulations. I'm very, very proud of you. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else?
Dan versus Patty seems like the obvious fight to make, even though Patty was eyeing the winner of Dan versus BSD. What do you think is next for Patty after his break?
Don't hate it, but I hope he takes a long break, 8-9 months after that. And I also hope Dan Hooker does the same. He deserves a break now. Too quick of a turnaround, in my opinion. He's a freaking legend. Love watching him fight, but I just hope he gives his body a bit of a break. What else, Frankie? What else?
Help! Learning Italian, but can't get the pronunciation down. Ariel, please let us know how to properly pronounce words in Italiano.
Tu lavare americano,
Right?
americano, americano. Herrera ora garavira, parete, pote, potete, potete, tu lavare America, tu lavare America, tu lavare America. Yeah, I got you. Affogato, bellissimo.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Arrivederci.
Grazie mille. All those things.
You got to do it like Brad Pitt does.
I'm going to be very, very, very
Affogato?
annoying. Affogato? I said that. I'm going to be very annoying. Very annoying. I just want to let you all know.
Affogato.
Affogato.
Be nice
Affogato.
change of pace around here, you know?
Yeah. Oh, what else, Frankie? What else?
This is the last one.
Okay.
Ariel, the end of the post-fight show had me in tears.
Oh, yeah. That's usually what happens when it's late, 4 or 5 a.m., maybe even 6 sometimes. It is going to be fun to do these an hour earlier, but we'll still probably be a little bit loopy, especially Pete. So I hope you all enjoy. I don't remember why we were laughing so much. Oh, because of his dad, Pete Carroll, all that stuff. No, Michael Carroll. Yes. That was a lot of fun. Hope you all enjoyed that. If not, go check it out on the YouTube page. My friends, as the great Andrea Bocelli once said, time to say goodbye. The next time I'm sitting in this chair will maybe be March? Like March 3rd? Is that possible, Frankie?
Who's to check?
Yeah,
2nd?
now you're so. Is that the Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same
now
day
you're
as
so.
in March and February.
Oh, that's right.
Only
That's
4
right.
weeks,
Gosh. I'm getting a little emotional. True or false?
It'll be over before you know it.
I have packed.
False.
Absolutely
false.
Yeah.
But the brilliant thing is, flight's tomorrow at 4:55, so I pretty much have the whole day to do it.
You got time.
Yeah, that's what I've been saving
But
for.
you're packing for 3 weeks. That's a lot of pressure.
But I got some messages like, make sure you bring a lot of long johns. Make sure you bring, I'm like, golly, what are we walking into here? Make sure you bring SPF 50. It gets a little sunny there. The reflection off the snow,
By the way,
should I do a video blog? Do you guys want a video blog? Should I do like
A day in the life. If you could.
Yes, Frank, what do you want to say?
the beard is looking quite striking.
Oh,
Good
thanks.
job.
Wow, I went last week.
I have a couple of check stubs I need you to sign on your way out.
I did go for my my pre-trip trim.
BTT?
Yep. Last time I actually mispronounced my barber's name and who I've known for
I actually just introduced someone to Brad outside, and I said, "Hey, this is Rob." I'm sorry, this isn't Rob. This is Brad.
But Brad thought your name was what for the longest time?
Yeah, we do have a camera guy, Brad, legend. He thought my name was George O'Connor, not George.
Oh, because of GC.
Yeah.
Legend. Well, gentlemen, I pass the baton to you, but I do want to let you know I'll be back tomorrow for the MMA Beat and Wednesday as well. But these things happen anyway. Thank you so much to all our guests. I love you all very much. We will not be going anywhere. We have a lot more coming your way. Don't worry. It's going to be great. And arrivederci.
Without the sex.